Dun, 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 Kung Fu Fight. Oh, wait, I changed the damn banner, didn't I?
If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com.
This is a new show with two of our hosts, Laura Lee and Carrie Lynn. It's going to be interesting, kind of scary looking though.
I actually joined in on their first episode from the audience.
This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRN Talk Radio.
Somebody been lying to me, man.
Esoteric.
Are you sure? I thought this was NPR.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Passano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
What's out there? What creates the shadows in the corners or the creatures of the dark? Who are those on the other side? What do they have to say? This is the Gateway Podcast. This is not your normal style of paranormal talk radio. Brought to you live from United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM New Orleans.
I got some new UFO stuff I want to talk about this Wednesday.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fierster, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
Oh, that was it. Here
we go.
Yeah.
Come on. Uh-oh.
Here we go.
This is Central Park.
Get up and dance, Joe. Come on, man. I'm the actor this. You're like that guy in the Deliverance movie style. We're the big booty movie. I need one of those. Oh, yeah. So I'll see that New Orleans strut. No, there it falls. Come on. I need to enjoy. I'll get to choose the next song. No, wait a minute. I heard Sean choosing no songs lately. Sorry, I got a great one. I have a great song. Mine's the long one, though. Mine's the long one. I play the vault. It sounds like something out of some buddy. Yeah, it's Captain's head tonight. I think this music is really high music, is what I think. He says, "Let's get high, dude." Where the hell did you get your song at, son? You know, put this on. Putting this on me, man. That's what I'm saying. Good to see you. What's it to these things? Like the fight scene in Tron. Hey, who's gonna have to pay fine for this? See, honestly, it's full of whales coming towards you. I don't care what the imagine name is. I need no coffee. I do lots of coffee. I expect to see some like stanky stripper girls. Yeah. Like some 90s sci-fi. And then maybe the lasers. Come. When I used to play laser tag, it kind of sounds like some stuff they call it laser. Oh, did I say I played laser tag out loud? Oh, shit. I'm never get into this. No, I never played laser tag. It was a fantasy. It's like the background music to Big Trouble in Little China. Well, hey, I like Big Trouble in Little China. Don't be messing with my movie, man. Some 80s type of background music. Yeah.
Well, they did do quite a lot of movie soundtracks, yeah. But the premise of that song is it's called Central Park, and it's, swear to God, it seems to me, and it feels like the feel of New York City. I've been to New York City. What they did is they went to different parks, different major parks throughout the world. Like places in Europe and Central Park, and they just played music in the park, so they got the vibe of the park. And I think they nailed Central Park. I mean, that to me says a fast, rapid moving city.
They should be happy they survived Central Park.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm thinking. Happy I got the hell out of there.
Hey, do you see what Roseanne Ash wrote? Sounds like some acid music.
Yeah.
Roseanne, now none of us would know what that was on this show. No one here has ever tripped on anything. No.
No. Not on purpose.
Now, if this is a question to get me in heaven, I will have to change my answer. But as it stands right now, no one here has ever done that before.
Well, you heard what I said, not on purpose.
Maybe some shrooms here and there. Some mess.
On a good pizza, mushrooms are awesome.
Something like that. But anyway, welcome to News on the Flip Side, everybody. I hope everybody around the planet is having a great day as America is firmly putting its foot in your ass, making you squirm like little bitches that you are. So I'm just saying, I've been listening to all you bitches around the planet bitching for months. First, I was bitching at Biden. Oh, Biden. But Biden was all but giving you a blowjob. And here comes Trump saying, oh, well, we're going to turn that around now.
Yeah.
And I think he means it. I think he's like, screw you. And, it's going to be this way, the way it's supposed to be. I like what he told, him and the French guy are actually pretty tight. They're not, they're not enemies or anything. Even after France said they would go over there and defend Greenland, which
the French guy, the French premier,
which I can't remember what general was.
The French guy is the French
premier. This general almost peed himself. He was laughing so hard, dude, on TV. He was like, who? Dude, he looked over. He said, He said, they still have a military? Really? I thought we were their military. It's like he was being a real prick. But the funny part was, so some mid-level government person said they wanted the statue back, and then we were like, "What statue back?" And then they're like, the statue. And I'm like, "What statue?" And I'm like, "Wait, what statue did these SOBs want back?" Which I thought was funny. And you said, the one in New York Harbor. I said, "Really?" I said, "You want what, Statue of Liberty back?" I said, I'm thinking to myself, so Trump says, "Sure."
When did we lose it?
So Trump says, you owe us about $4 trillion from the debt you haven't paid us back from World War II. He says, and that's not counting the debt we've covered for you, both in your military and in NATO.
And
he
interest.
Yeah, and interest. So he said,
he
said at a count. Well, so he said, we'll do a kindly round number. He said about $8 trillion. He said, do you realize, he said, if Europe was to pay us back everything they owed us for the last 50 years, not only would our debt be paid off, we'd have 30, 40, $50 trillion surplus. Everybody in America could get $1 million bonus and be happy as pig and poop.
Yes, and they could turn off income tax and do his
Well, you know what? I got to say this. So Mississippi, the southern states are doing away with income tax altogether. State income tax. But I've heard now Trump say this on 5 occasions. He wants to do away with federal income tax. He said, just like everybody else knows, it's not supposed to be. The country was never to be designed to run on the people's back. It was designed to run on the company's back and the corporations. A successful country doesn't need our tax money. And let's be honest, now that we're looking at Elon Musk and all the shit they're finding, they don't need our tax money. They're just wasting that. They're just giving it to shitting people. I mean, come on, fucking people. So Elon's already found 4 trillion waste, but this ain't what triggers me. They found another 4 trillion that no one knows where it went. No one. And everyone said the same thing. It is unrecoverable. $4 trillion unfucking recoverable. Really?
So,
what the fuck?
Well, that
just another 850
like
trillion.
The Black Ops project. It's got to be what that is.
Well, wait. There's still another 850 billion from the Pentagon from the last 4 audits that they can't find. So people, we're talking $5 trillion. In anybody's case, $5 trillion is a fucking lot of money.
Any non-senator that did that would be arrested and taken up on charges of embezzlement, flat out embezzlement.
Do you know if we had that $5 trillion, there would be no taxes right now on anything? We'd be a tax-free country.
If we charge religious facilities taxes on their land alone, we wouldn't have to pay taxes. They get a free ride, and that's got to stop too.
Well, they've been changing that. So I forgot how exactly it works, but not all churches are tax exempt anymore, and not all land areas are tax exempt. So, like in New Orleans, like the cathedral and everything around, it's tax exempt. It's something to do with its outward holdings, like property it owns outside the city is not. They don't consider it. It's not being used for religious stuff, so it's not tax exempt. So they haven't tightened down on that. And they also said something about churches that make over X amount of dollars a year will have to start paying taxes. Which
I gotta see that. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah,
I'm ready for that, man.
I'm past ready for that.
So what do you guys think about the Pope dying on Easter, man?
I heard Vance took
here. I'm going to throw this out. Was it actually the Pope? Because there's a lot of people saying that he died in February.
Well, the Democrats are still going to run with it. That the VP killed the Pope. But so one of the guys at work, the guy who did our theme song, actually did a good joke on everybody. He said Trump just announced that he's the Pope, and so can you imagine? It'll be the greatest thing. No one's ever seen anything like it. Pope. Pope Trump.
I think that was I think that was a bunch of malarkey, to be honest with you guys.
I mean, come on. He wasn't the last person that the Pope spoke to. Vance was not the last person that the Pope spoke to. He spoke to several people after that before he passed on. So,
well, it's not to America's. I mean, well, no, I don't know. The Pope was kind of anti-America. Maybe it was to our advantage too.
It'd be kind of cool if Vance was like the Grim Reaper, and every time he visits somebody, they die an hour later.
3 days later, yeah.
I thought about that.
No, we'll do whatever you want.
Welcome to Ohio, motherfuckers.
It'll get to the point where everybody will just say, "Well, what do you want us to do?" Okay, you don't have to come now. Okay, stay where you are.
There's a nurse.
I'll tell you one thing though. I wish he'd stop taking his.
Yeah, you can have whatever you want.
He needs to stop taking his kids everywhere with him. It's a little aggravating.
There's a nursing home that's got a cat that visits people right before they die. Like right before they die, the cat hangs out all the time, like in the bed and around. People are like, "Wow, it's really cool. It's a miracle," you know. But you know, if you see that cat coming, you're fucked. You know what I mean? And you're like trying to keep the cat away. Get out of here, cat! Get out! The cat's like, "Wow, I'm coming for you." You know? I love little Grim Reapers like that, man. I'd be an awesome Grim Reaper. I'd be a funny Grim Reaper. That's what you want. You want to leave on a joke. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What would you do? What would you do, Michael? What would you do if you were the Grim Reaper? Say, like, I died. What would you do to the being a Grim Reaper? What would you do?
I would take you to an Irish pub, man. We would go slamming. You know what I mean? Slamming shots until you die.
Only green liquor, man.
Irish pub in Queens, New York, man. I know the perfect one. Right there, right at Wood's Edge, whatever.
You know,
I know a good one up in Gettysburg.
Woodside, Queens, right? There's a one like right on the corner. That's the one we used to always go to for St. Patty's Day, man. You had to. It was like the best place, best corned beef and hash, best beer, best everything. Oh my God.
So that's a good segue. Y'all were talking about it. So this is the tax man becoming the reaper.
It's
becoming the tax man. Yeah, he switch places with him. It's actually it's a little bit more interesting than that. It's a cool little book. This actually won first place at the Writers of the Futures a couple of years back, but it's now been turned into a novel. I would give y'all one, guys, but it's the only one I got left. It's I think this is my signed one, so I don't give nothing signed away anymore. I do. Well, that's not exactly true. It's not exactly true. See this one? This one is signed by some of the top judges in the world who got big movies behind them, like Dune and the Caribbean movies, and a couple of Spider-Man. Got some X-Files behind them. There's quite a few movies or TV shows that were affiliated with. So they're all their signatures, and of course, all the winners' signatures are in there as well. And then, of course, the top illustrators in our country are also in there with their signatures in there as well. The books themselves. So they only give away 500 signed copies a year, and I get 2 of.
Yeah, mine's not signed, but it's right there under the sign.
Yeah, so I always bring back at least 2, and because we do have some people on the network that like them, and that's like poor Jay. His girlfriend got him that collection back there, and I could have probably saved him $80 on it, but
no, she got it through your website.
Then she got the deal in.
Yeah, she got the deal.
Yeah, because they were almost $100 more when they were out in the field. I know in the stores where they were now. Somebody keeps sending me these things. No, one of these days I'll hang it up. Okay, leave me alone about the damn picture. It looks fine right there. You know what? No, it's expensive ass picture. Sooner or later I'll hang it up. But the one I know that Dave and them keep writing to me about, which I don't think you can see from here. Maybe you can. Let's see. This is the one everybody's keep trying to get off of me. Is this one back here?
You have to move that boom. There you go. Oh, is that a Frazetta?
Yeah, so that's a Frank Frazetta. It's signed and numbered. Signed and numbered. It's from the original run offset. You know how they do that set to run the posters off and all? That's what it was from. So
what was it from?
It's so so Frank does the pictures, right?
Yeah.
And this is for Battlefield Earth. This is tour.
Okay.
And so he did all the artwork for it. So he did them. He did them all, and then there was I forgot how many he made, and they used those to run the posters off from. Okay, and then there were the ones that they made for those posters, which are these right here. This is number. There was 8,000. I think this is number 3,000 or somewhere around there. Last I checked, the value of the poster was around $5,600. It's somebody keeps asking me, when are you going to auction it off? I said it's so because there's 2 more I want to get that me and Sarah can't come to a deal on the price, so we're going to have to get them another way.
When the water reaches 23 feet, then you'll have to auction it. But other than
it's there's a couple of them in here, like the one with the twin paddle wheelers. That's a collection. The one right behind me is, the one we were talking about. The gold one was too. All right, y'all better watch with these cameras. Michelle's gonna kick y'all's asses. She's a camera freak. She likes to see her host naked. On camera and stuff.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna tell Sean something that she wanted.
She wants to see us naked. Is that what
we're doing stuff she doesn't like on camera, so that's why I had to turn mine off.
I hear something about she. You just be careful. Is all I'm saying out there. Jennifer, what? No, wait. What? No, we were not even on a topic yet. We were just kind of getting started. Why? Biden sucks. Trump rocks. Okay, what else?
I got one. What about that judge being arrested in Wisconsin?
Ooh, for hiding that MS-13 guy. Ooh,
oh wow!
You're going to fucking deep jail.
Who popped him? Was it local authorities or was it?
I don't want to know, but somebody this poor bastard. I wouldn't want to go to jail.
FBI. It's a woman. It's a woman judge.
They will have to keep him in solitary because
FBI are working with ICE, so therefore, yeah, she's popped.
Oh yeah.
This judge is going to have to be kept in solitary because
it exposes a bigger problem is that she's not the only one. There's a whole bunch more, and look at that the politician that ran down there, with the MS-13 guy drinking margarita. I'm sure he's in MS-13's pocket. Follow the money. I'm sure they're paying him. They have a lot of money. Big huge gang. They're not poor.
Michael, I lived in an area that was becoming overrun by them in just north of Gaithersburg, like the Muddy Branch area. They're huge. The gang MS-13 is huge. I've heard gunshots behind my apartment when I lived off of Muddy Branch there several times. Thank God I had shotguns and other things to defend with. So if they had come my way, they would have not enjoyed it. But still, yeah, lots of rapes and all kinds of just heinous acts of violence from that gang in Montgomery County, Maryland.
They took over my friend's neighborhood on Long Island, man, and started spray painting. I remember the day I went over to his house and saw MS-13 spray painted across the street on a building, and I'm like, there you go. This is what you got. I'm like 10 years from now, this neighborhood is not going to be livable. And it's true. They pile into houses. They rent the homes. They pile in 15, 20 people in a house. You know what I mean? And they take their gang members in and whatever. It's a huge problem. Unbelievable. Trump's on it. He's trying. I see what they're doing, But it's funny how these liberal judges are fighting to keep criminals in our country that have victimized others and or rapists, murderers, thieves, whatever the hell they are. Why keep them? You know what I mean?
Well, it's more money for the Democrats because who do you think controls most of the services that are running our prisons? Democrats, most of them run, they're the ones getting the contract kickbacks from the launderers who do the sheets and the uniforms and the people who bring in the food and the contractors and all that kind of stuff that do the security and make the buildings, keep the building engineers. It's $1 billion a year business. That's why
I think they want votes. But
they also want the crime so they can keep getting money from all the contracts that they're selling for prison upkeep.
It's a messed up situation.
It costs $35,000 to $45,000 a year to keep one inmate in prison for a year.
Oh, more than that now. Now it's way more than that. Yeah.
It's probably way more, yeah.
50, 60,000 somewhere around there for minimum security.
Yeah, maybe per year, something like that, I would think, maybe.
Yeah, it's crazy money. Crazy money. That if they were on the street, they wouldn't be making that kind of money.
Yeah.
The prison.
Tell me, hold on, y'all guys. Tell me if y'all can hear this because I've never done it this way before. So,
as long as your volume is up.
I don't hear it.
Yeah, your volume has to be up.
I don't hear it.
Did that help any?
Nope.
All right. I guess I'll have to switch over. It's
you can take it out of your headphones, probably. Yeah.
No, it's not that. It's for some reason, StreamYard is on. It wants to run on Microsoft tonight instead of Google.
Oh, it's working on fine. I'm using Google.
I know. I was using Google too, but for some reason it's running Microsoft, and I was like, okay. It's not like we ain't got. Oh, I see why. Because I've got StreamYard open in Microsoft. All right, never mind. Well, that makes total sense now. No, that's
user error is what it's called.
Big user error is actually what that's called. It's called. I put the foot in the asshole right there. Now, let's see if we'll do it now. Let's see. There it is. I think this is the judge who got arrested. I think.
No, yeah, it has to be. Is she black and female?
No.
What the hell?
Then why would they be saying no justice, no peace? Because that's a Black Lives Matter.
I think she's blonde, right? Blonde hair.
No, I don't know. That's something it picked up. I don't even know what the hell that was. It picked up. I was like, whoa, what is this? That's not what I was doing. This is what I was looking for right here. Get out the way, thing. Yeah, this little article right here is what I was trying to get to. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. This is her. Here we go.
Oh, God.
This morning. Protests took place in Minneapolis and outside the Milwaukee federal courthouse, where earlier today, Wisconsin Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan was charged with interfering in an immigration arrest. Charges alleged on April 18th, a man wanted by immigration was in Dugan's courtroom. When his lawyer informed the judge that ICE agents were in the hallway, Judge Dugan allegedly confronted the agents and instructed the man and his attorney to exit through a back door. The man was arrested shortly after leaving the courthouse. In a now deleted post to X, FBI Director Kash Patel announced the judge's arrest, which said, in part, "We believe Judge Dugan intentionally misdirected federal agents away from the subject to be arrested in her courthouse."
She's in trouble.
They're not afraid to arrest a judge. This is going to tell all the other judges out there that
she's done.
Because there's a lot of dirty judges, man. There's a lot of dirty judges. Tell them all that you know what, no one's going to protect them, and they're going to come for them too and charge them, and they're not going to have the little cushy job as judge anymore. They're going to be under the thumbs of the law.
But does this message parlay to like governors? Because some governors and mayors and other city and state officials have said the same thing. They
would charge a governor. They put that out there that no one's untouchable.
They haven't yet, but I mean, does the message parlay is the thing? Does
Trump is on a revenge kick like Trump is like a wood chipper, man. He's like on a revenge kick that no one's ever seen, and I'm loving it because I'm just sitting back watching all these people suffer who I can't stand, and the ones who have really brought our country down in the last 4 years, now they're paying the price. There's a huge amount of satisfaction going on. I don't know about you guys,
though, Michael. Is it only 4, or is it more like 50?
Well, I mean, Trump was in there. You know what I mean?
But for the most part, in the last 50 years, the Democrats really have had most of the control of the House and the Senate, i.e., most of the control of the funds and the money. And where did most of that money go? Into their pockets.
I think Trump is on it. He's his own carnival right now, and he's out there, and anybody stands in the way is going to get stuck in that machine. You know what I mean? So good riddance, man. Because the stuff he's doing, it needs to be done. And he's not doing anything that's not supposed to be done. You know what he's doing? He's enforcing the goddamn laws. You know what I mean? Enforcing the law. That's all. And justice is blind. So I love what's going on. Keep it. The Hegseth guy, I don't like him. I never liked him. I didn't like him before. I don't like him now. I think that, he's kind of trying to say, oh, it's whistleblowers doing this, doing that. It doesn't matter. What matters is there's a huge security problem with him and everybody with him. If they're putting links out there that aren't secure. I mean, he did that. It's not some whistleblower.
It seems like Trump is kind of distancing himself maybe from this.
He did it. He needs to go. This is already strike 3. I think it's already time for him to go because you can't afford to relax.
Get him out.
You know what? Trump was hardcore on Hillary when she was Secretary of State, using her BlackBerry in Russia. Hardcore on her. And that she should have been fired or whatever. Hegseth is including people in attack plans and meetings. It could get people killed. You know what I mean? And he's exposing people. I don't know, man. He's got to go. He's already proven himself.
See, that's the thing. Signal is a secure network. You can't hack Signal. It's impossible.
No, still, he exposing.
Why do you think that they put the guy who owns it in jail? Because they were trying to get some fucking drug dealers. And the guy said, I'm not going to help you break it. And they couldn't break it because the fucking problem is it scrambled, the whole signal scrambled. So only the receiver can descramble it. And only the sender can descramble it.
This is the problem.
You don't have access with that shit.
This is the problem with the guy. He doesn't take his job seriously in national security because it's got to be. This is the rules are the rules, man. And I worked for the Fed before, and then you go by the rules. There is no outside the rule. You know what I mean? And when it comes to national security, every bit of information is important. If it's especially if it's classified. This guy had his wife in on the thing, his brother-in-law and on the thing. He's making all these excuses. The second you start making excuses, you fucked up. You know what I mean? You fucked up because you shouldn't have to be making excuses for the things you do. He's blaming other people instead of saying, I fucked up. It ain't going to happen again. But I don't think the guy's got the mentality to even understand that. We need somebody else.
And even before that, before these 3 strikes, he seems slimy to begin with.
Exactly. He doesn't give you a good feeling, does he?
Yeah.
Well,
I like him.
The generals like him just fine. As far as this, that's the only thing I've seen him fuck up on is the signal stuff. Everything else he's been pretty strict on. I've been watching the attacks in Yemen and places like that. He's been doing some serious ass kicking. So I think he understands what ass kicking means. I just think he's too gung ho, like Mike just said, because now I don't know what security clearance his wife's got. I don't know if she's got a clearance. But including your wife in on this, in which they say Obama included Michelle in on it, but I don't know, man. That's putting your wife at unnecessary risk. And your kids. I mean, she don't need to know that. Well, I mean, why does she need to know who's getting the shit blown up out of them? And as far as the reporter guy goes, that wasn't him.
American law, she can't be forced to talk because they're married. But if she were captured by a foreign state, they can torture her until she does talk.
Yeah.
So.
Now it's different. It's different if you pull a Billy Jack and tell Iran, I'm going to come in there and put my fucking foot up your ass.
Oh, they've already done that.
And this is exactly how I'm going to do it. And there ain't nothing you can do about it except cry about it. And it's going to happen. And you're going to sit there and cry. You're going to sit there and cry. And then here I come. I'm coming exactly at 12:01.
Here's when.
Kick your ass.
When
Someone knocks on your door, it's going to be me. That's how you do it. You tell them, I'm going to mess you up. You know what I mean? I mean, like, that's the way we used to do it back in the day in the street.
I've been saying that for years about the whole Middle East. Just drop a bomb, give everybody like 30, 60, 90 days, whatever, how many days you want to give them. It's like, but on this day at 12:01 p.m., boom, it's 3,000 sunblock.
It's at 3 o'clock. I'm going to kick your ass after school. 3 o'clock, man.
Well, Trump's pretty much actually Vance has been a bigger dick. Vance has pretty much already told them, look, you're going to get rid of your nuclear program one way or another. Now, we'd rather you do it peacefully, where you get something out of it, we get something. But if we have to, we'll send Israel in there, and then if we need to, we'll come in there with them. So the point being that they're going to get rid of their nuclear program one way or another. Russia can bitch all at once. Russia's got its fucking hands full in Ukraine, and China's just not quite ready to get fraud.
They carry, right?
China's still trying to figure out how it can take Taiwan. It definitely does not want to tangle with the United States. And just for shits and giggles, the other day, the dickhead Trump that he is, he surfaced one nuclear submarine right off the coast of China inside their waters. They had no idea it was there. A nuclear ballistic submarine, which could have wiped out the fucking entire country in under about 11 minutes. But worse than that, at the same time, they were testing silo missiles here in the United States and launching them. He was just letting China know, don't fucking piss me off. You can't win this. Any way you go, you're going to die. Mm-hmm. We will make sure that you die. All 1.4 billion.
After school, man. 3 o'clock.
I have an interesting segue. Have you guys heard about the little bit of tension between Pakistan and India recently?
Ooh,
that's been going on forever.
Well, but no, this is new. So apparently, in like the Kashmir region, it's like it's a contested region between both countries.
Yes, it is.
B, it's kind of like a resort region, the touristy area, and so like several Indian tourists were killed allegedly by Pakistani terrorists.
Always happens.
Pakistanis are saying that
Kashmir. There's been so many battles there. Oh my God! How many years?
So we're talking 2 nuclear armed countries, not necessarily nuclear powered, but nuclear armed. They could start off, the beginnings of a World War III.
I have a very hard time believing they can launch nukes. Like I believe they have them.
Oh,
I believe that they don't maintain them. It costs an extraordinary
amount of money. What this is. So give me a second, and I'll get it straight in my head. So Russia and the United States have armed deployed nukes. China has armed nukes, but they are not deployed. Europe has armed nukes, but only NATO can deploy them. They are missile ready, but they're not technically deployed, but they can be in minutes. Pakistan, I think only like 2 of their nukes are deployed. Everything else is just nuclear warhead.
But still, they have somewhere on the order of 200 to 300 nukes, as does India. So somewhere on the order of 600 nukes.
I think China's got like 500.
If their rockets work, when you leave that stuff, it's got like if you buy an airplane.
They both sent missions to the moon this past year.
If you buy, but it's different. Maintenance is different. If you buy an airplane, you need to use that airplane and fly the airplane instead of just leaving the hangar or the city. When it comes to rockets, every rocket that we have costs $1 million a day to maintain. Every nuclear missile we have a day, because that's what you got to do to keep these things ready to go.
Citizens are poor.
Okay. So y'all are both
once a month.
Y'all are both right in this argument. First off, the United States rotates its missiles every 15 years, I believe. It rotates them out and comes in with a new missile. But meanwhile, what Mike is saying is absolutely true. That's how much it costs to maintain their missiles, and it goes up every year. It goes up a little more and a little more and a little more. And right now, the United States has 2,500 nuclear weapons deployed.
It's a lot of money.
5,000, yeah. We have 5,000 nuclear weapons altogether, which means there's 5,000 warheads just sitting there, not on missiles, but just sitting there. They still have to be maintained. And then we have 2,500 that are sitting on missiles that have to be. The warheads have to be maintained. The missiles have to be maintained. The launch systems have to be maintained. The people have to be rotated. They have to be maintained because they get a little wacky after time. It's not, it's not a thing. I've met a couple of them guys who worked at silos, and man,
I used to know one dude. I knew a guy who was a missile silo tech, and he said it was fucked up. 12-hour shifts. You're down there, but they have these.
All of them were named Sean too. That's weird.
They have these alerts that they do, like these simulated exercises, and they come at any time. And then they got to turn the fucking key. They've got to make that decision. Those two guys to turn the key. Wow. It's some serious shit right there. Now they don't have to turn the key anymore. That's gone.
Well, regardless of how well the Indians and the Pakistanis maintain their missile systems, but they both have nuclear missiles. Around 600 between the two of them. They can both knock each other out. They both have successfully sent missions to the moon this year or last year, and it's just another region of the country.
Why would they want to do that for, Jay?
Explode.
Okay, here we go.
Why would they want to do that?
I think that the government wants to see, our government wants to see them nuke each other because one, you got the Himalayan mountains. Most likely that'll keep a lot of that radiation in. Number two, they're going to get to see what the modern nukes do. The people that make weapons always want to see what they're going to do. They always want to see the power of it and what direction to go. They're tactical exercises, right? So you use one of these things and bang, you can then start counting the numbers and getting all the data together, So it's just the way it goes. There's an old saying: a weapon unused is a useless weapon, right?
So here, I'm gonna give y'all the stats now. So get out the way thing. So this starts from 1949, 45 and 49. I'm sorry. Well, if this stupid ad would get out the way. So Russia currently houses 5,580 nukes, 1,200 retired nukes, 1,710 deployed nukes, 2,670 nukes on warheads. Sitting ready to go. Most of these warheads were created between 49 and 64. Tells you how old these fucking warheads. Yeah, they are. And so, are they going to pop?
Two of our nuclear submarines could destroy all of Europe, including Russia.
Oh, yeah.
All of it. Within minutes, they wouldn't even know what the hell was coming. They wouldn't be within 5 minutes. They'd be done. They wouldn't even know what the hell was coming. So that's why people don't launch nukes, because they can do it to us. We can do it to them. Russia could park a missile boat off of New York.
Well, they got that many left now. The United States has 5,044 nukes, 1,300 retired, 1,700 deployed, same as Russia, 2,000 in reserve. Most of them are between 1945 and 1964. China has 500 nukes. Only 24 are deployed. They have 476 in reserve. That's what I'm saying. Keeping them deployed ain't an easy thing to do. France, look at France, 290 nukes, 280 of them are deployed. 10 of them are in reserve. The United Kingdom has 225 nukes with 120 deployed, 105 in there. So, oh wait, some of those nukes are newer. I'm sorry, I see they got some 2006 numbers in here. All right, so
but Joe, you were in the military. A couple of you guys, Jay, were you in the military? I don't know.
No, but my father was a civilian top secret contractor to the Navy.
So you all have some kind of degree of knowledge with the military. You know for a fact that there are. I mean, I used to have a really good friend who was a captain in the Army Rangers, which Rangers is some serious shit.
Army Rangers.
And then this guy was planning sorties all through Iraq. That's when that was going on, and I loved talking to him about it because it was just fun to listen to. But when you realize that that's all these guys do every day is plan missions, and then this is how we're going to strike. We're going to go into China. They've got this. They've got that. We would take it out within minutes. Minutes, that stuff would be gone. Before they'd even be able to, I don't think they would understand the swiftness of the U.S. military and how we plan and replan and plan again. And that we have computers. That's all the fuck they do.
Yeah. Well, wait. So let me finish. Let me finish this list. It's gonna tell you what you were just saying. So first off, India, Pakistan, Israel, and North Korea all have nuclear weapons, none of which are deployed. They're all in reserve. So India has 172, Pakistan has 170, Israel has 90, North Korea has 50.
Okay, so they have a little over 300.
Yeah, so none of them are deployed. Turkey and Germany and Italy and the Netherlands and Belgium have nuclear weapons because they're hosting United States nuclear weapons. So Turkey hosts 20 of our missiles, Germany hosts 15, Italy hosts 35 of our missiles, Netherlands hosts 15 of our missiles, Belgium hosts 15 of our missiles. Belarus hosts some of Russia's missiles, so you can see the difference. I mean, we're China and Europe is screwed, and we don't even have to go anywhere. We just launch them from there. We don't even have to use our submarines. Of course, we could use them just to be a distraction.
We are 3 to 5 minutes strike time from any city in the world. Yeah. We have B-2 bombers. We have other means. We have bases all around the world. We're the only country that's got bases like basically everywhere, man. I mean, you know what? It's a force to be reckoned with. Trump knows that. Now it's time to kind of edge that up and use that force. I think it's backfiring with Putin. I think Putin is completely out of his mind. I don't think that he cares about Russia or whatever. It's a pissing match, and it could turn into something much because Trump will get caught up in that. Trump will give them all kinds of weapons.
Well, wait. Well, so something interesting happened the other day. So Russia hit Kiev, and Trump got on television, actually called him and told him stop it, and he hasn't done it since. And he's even lost an ambassador because
they blew up somebody yesterday.
The Ukrainians did. Yeah, no, the Russians stopped because Trump just said stop because whatever they did the other day pissed Trump right the fuck off. He was like, "Whoa, wait a minute now. Whatever you did was a no-no." And so you see now Putin's got to watch. He can't risk drawing the United States into this because he's done for. There's no way he can barely hang on to Ukraine without anybody else's troops there.
Maybe he wants that.
He don't want that because in the end he's going to lose and he's going to lose territory.
But I think he's nuts, dude. I think he's totally whatever's eating his brain. I think it's done.
Maybe so, but then he's still going to contest with his other people there.
How about this? How about this? Do you think that Trump is the kind of guy that's going to go through other means, like CIA type of means, to take Putin out?
If it's something that's doable, yeah.
Do you think that he's inaccessible, Putin? I don't think he is. I don't think anyone's inaccessible.
I don't think he's really traveled much since the war's really begun. He's pretty much stayed in Ukraine and Russia. Period.
I think it comes down to money. I think you float $1 billion out there as a bounty. I think someone's going to claim that money. $1 billion for some security guard to blow his brains out. Just saying.
I don't think a security guard's going to be the one to do it. It would be a serious
It's a motivator. If I put $1 billion on your head, people are going to be coming after you. You can count on it. You know what I mean?
The only way you're going to get him is in a triangulated area of fire, like they did on Kennedy, and you're going to have 3, expertise to like long range snipers to do it.
You do it backdoor, man. $1 billion Bitcoin with a no name person. You take Putin out. You're going to get $1 billion.
You can't do Jack Rubio.
Claim that bounty.
Get that close to him.
Putin's head.
Well, I'm not really going to worry about it because Putin's got Putin. I don't know, because the problem is we don't know who's going to take Putin's spot.
We're speaking theoretically, of course.
That's true. We aren't really following any of Russian politics, like who's behind, who's like.
Medvedev is behind him, but that doesn't mean he's going to be any better than Putin.
You know what? If it was me and I was Trump, and then if I'm a guy who doesn't really care about playing by the rules, and I see this Putin as a huge problem to the world, you know what? Who's one person? I mean, look at Hitler. What's one person? You take the one person out. Preemptive strikes are, Ronald
Think
Reagan.
about it, dude. They never
preemptive strikes.
They never took Hitler out.
That talked about preemptive strikes.
Yeah, but you made your own point, Mike. They never took Hitler out. They never took Mussolini out.
I'm saying
they never took what's
right.
face to,
I'm saying it's right to do. It's right to
but
do.
The problem is you can't do it. No one's been able to
right
do
now
it.
we need
No one's been able to do it.
Hey man, it's Taco Tuesday, dude. Who says? You know what I mean? It's Friday, but
on the right level there.
Who says it's not to do? Who says you can't?
I like that one. I like that one, Joe. Pretty good one. Hey, let's have a kumbaya moment here for a second.
I think we're gonna have. Y'all need to stop smoking that, whatever that shit is y'all smoking.
Yeah, just have Vance meet with him right now.
Hello, I mean,
said Vance and Hillary Clinton, fucking double trouble, man. You're not leaving the party alive,
Poor Vance, man. He's gonna just recoil all over.
You shake the Pope's hand and he dies. There's some shit going on there, man.
It's,
you want to talk about the Book of Revelation? There are people reading into this all kinds of stuff.
Yes, they are, buddy.
Ridiculous.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, man, it's funny.
They are. Yeah.
Like it's the end of the world. I'm like, good. I've had too much for
Get
too
it over
long.
with. Yeah, I mean,
You know what I mean? I'm ready for the next level. I'm only making my way through this horrible place. It's like going through a bad neighborhood.
Let's get it over with. Let's start it
now.
now.
A bad
Get it
neighborhood.
over with.
Time to get out of here. Move on.
Hey, Joe, what do you want with your popcorn, buddy?
I'm thinking about that. Maybe some down.
I think if we start calling JD Vance the Reaper, man, that's going to stick with him. I've given people nicknames before that stuck with them for life. The Reaper. Come on, man. The vice president. Oh, you mean the Reaper?
JD the Reaper Vance.
No, we don't want him because he's going to be running for president in 4 years. So.
Well, he yelled at Zelensky. That guy should be scared, man. The Reaper was unhappy with you. You know what I mean? You better go hide.
Don't get in a closed room with him. You won't get out by the next day.
Everything Michael is saying right now about the Reaper is just falling right into place.
Yeah,
it really has.
It's
that's why I love the show.
We love JD. We don't want to see him have to go through too much horror.
Hey, and I've already put my useless reputation on the line by saying he's going to be our next president. So
now they're looking to appoint a conservative pope. So and they're looking for a conservative pope. Francis was a big liberal, right? I mean, he actually changed the rules of the church to accommodate those liberal
Francis did quite
politics.
a few things. They were listing it off. I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing. There just wasn't enough time. But NBC was doing a whole list of his accomplishments that he did while he was pope and such.
I could not watch it, Jay, because I was getting sick every minute. They would say something.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I really was. I was like, my mom was loving it. I was hating it. I'm like, you guys shut them. I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of organized religion myself, Sean.
They're not for Jesus.
No,
that much I know. They're not for Jesus.
They're out for cash dollars. They could care less about anything else.
Immobiliare is the church bank, man. That's like a huge entity. They own Beretta. They're a major shareholder of Beretta weapons and things like that. So I do love a Beretta though.
I have one.
Yeah, they're nice, man.
I like them.
Hey, tell me about the Swiss Guards, man. Are they badass?
They try to arrest me.
They carry halberds.
They tried arresting me, man.
They carry halberds. It's a very long pole with a big axe and a long pike at the top.
They don't carry guns?
Yeah, they do. Oh, they got machine guns, man. You know what? I was there, right? I was there taking the church tour, you know, and I was on vacation. It was my third day without weed, and you know how that goes. You know what I mean? Like that third day is the real bitch. Makes you all extra like. So, but I'm taking the stupid tour, and then and I didn't even want to, and then the person giving the tour is like saying that there's these catacombs throughout the basement and other areas in the church that have these riches, where like paintings, gold, jewels, whatever, anything that their pirates stole back in the day, crammed in there. And then she kept going on how priceless everything is. Priceless,
there you go, gentlemen.
Priceless.
Right
and I'm like, so why don't you sell some of the stuff and feed the people outside who are starving on the doorstep, man? And then I started kind of going off a little bit about like poverty and how dare they hoard the wealth. They're hoarding money. They're doing everything in the Bible that's against Jesus and whatever. So then those guys right there started crowding me, man. They said they were dressed a little differently. They started like getting all surrounding me. My friend's like, shit, we got to go.
These are the Swiss Guard. And do you see any guns? And I don't have any guns. They are all carrying pole arms, and they're all axes with very, very long sticks on the end, or metal pikes. You can barely see them because they blend into the background. Very serious weapons.
Yeah, the real Swiss Guard.
Well, we're going.
The ones
in the
church.
To break, uglies.
Yeah, the ones in the church. The ones who are actually like that, but they do have machine guns. So just to let you know.
So y'all gonna get to listen to some Bill Maher while we go to break. Our favorite Democrat. We're gonna let him chat while we go to break here. So everybody, y'all just hang out. It's gonna be about 7 minutes, and then we got about 2 promos coming back in, and then we'll be back. Any particular topics y'all want to talk about? We might even do some lefties losing it, because I think Mike's got a crush on the little girl from Australia. Maybe it's Sean. Somebody's got a crush on her. I don't know. She's a little hottie, so.
Why don't we logically?
Yeah, I don't like the girl, man. She's all right, like, but she's not my type.
No, I think she's a little hottie. I do.
All right, but anyway, here we go, guys. This is Bill Maher. I think he's bitching about somebody that was bitching about him. So let's see what this is.
Nobody has been harder about and more prescient, I must say, about Donald Trump than me. I don't need to be lectured on who Donald Trump is. Just to use the Hitler thing, first of all, I just think it's kind of insulting to 6 million dead Jews. Who, like, that should kind of be in its own place in history. And, I know people can say, well, we're just comparing it in this way. Well, it's an argument you kind of lost just to start it.
That's what you said a couple days ago, Dan.
Exactly.
That just using the comparison, you lose people. Batya, I want your take on how that comes across to you, as you are Jewish, and a Trump supporter at that. But what's your take?
And a person who half my family was murdered by the actual Hitler. In addition to it being deeply offensive to Jews, to call Trump Hitler is to call over 80 million Americans, 35% of Jewish Americans, 56% of Hispanic men, and the majority of Americans who make under $100,000 a year, Nazis, because those are the people who gave Donald Trump his victory. And I just have a pro tip for any Democrats who are thinking about winning back the working class, those people who make under $100,000 a year, who a majority of whom voted for Trump. You should have a visceral disgust for someone like Larry David, who's worth $400 million, sitting there and sneering and smearing the hardest working Americans for refusing to co-sign their own disinheritance. That's effectively what they are doing when these millionaires come out here and call Trump Hitler. They are calling working class Americans Nazis because they chose the person they thought would give their children back the future they were promised by this country. And it just has to stop. And you know what? Honestly, I don't care if the Democrats get this or don't, but they should get this, because this is a big part of why they have lost, because they have these rich people. He is so wealthy. I mean, how did
they're all wealthy.
You
tell
me,
me.
Bill Maher, Carl Wealthy,
He pardoned the Camp Auschwitz guy. He had Nick Fuentes and Kanye West over for Thanksgiving dinner. He's not exactly Nazi averse.
He's also the father-in-law and grandfather of Jewish children. Come on, Trump has done more for Jewish people. I'm Sicilian who grew up with Jewish people around me. He's fantastic. Okay, you know what? Actions speak louder than words. He may have said some stupid stuff in the past. What he's been doing, cracking down on Harvard with their anti-Semitic policies.
That is a lie. It's not you know it's not about anti-Semitism.
Look at how Harvard has treated Alan Dershowitz, who was there for 50 years.
Alan Dershowitz has punched his own ticket, my friend. If Donald Trump wants to root out
we sound better than
anti-Semitism,
these
he can go over
guys,
to the
and we
Nazi
don't
chat room that
scream
Twitter
over
is doing to do. Hitler did a lot of awful things.
They should get up and start tag teaming each other like wrestling wise.
I
know, we can talk.
It'll be more entertaining.
The policies of this government to the policies of the right.
Come on, dude.
No, it's not. Hitler
insane.
banned abortion.
He's a liberal douche, and they get to respond to him.
I agree. Hitler goes in his own little
I can't listen to this, man. You guys are just a bunch of
Just give me
people
1 second because
arguing about
I want to
nothing.
take what you're saying.
Okay, take
because
over.
This is an important point, I think, that gets lost in all of the yelling, to be frank.
I'm sorry.
There was a lot of Hitler talk by Democrats in the campaign. Trump is going to, right? But I think what they're saying now, Democrats, is a little bit different. Listen to Larry Tribe saying not what Trump has promised to do, but what Trump is doing or has done has historical parallels.
Nice little university you have there. Be a shame if something happened to it. That's what Hitler basically said, although it sounds different in the original German, when he said it to the university at Frankfurt and then took them over. That's what Orban has done in Hungary. That's what Erdogan has done in Turkey. It's a standard technique.
The comparisons to Hitler are a loser for the left. I mean,
I agree, but I'm not saying they're not fair.
Well, again, you may think they're fair. The problem is
policies. Yes,
I get it, but
it's hard. Threatened universities, I would have met my great grandparents. Like, come on.
It's very hard to draw that line to say,
agree.
well, I'm really just talking about some of the things that Hitler did.
Authoritarianism has patterns.
I got it, but there are other authoritarians to compare him to.
Great, let's compare to Mussolini. I'd love to do that.
But again, you won't get into much trouble as you
I
will
agree with you.
All
I
right?
agree. It's a third rail.
Right. It's a third rail for a reason.
Yes.
Because Hitler was uniquely bad.
Yes.
He was uniquely evil.
And I think
right?
and really, I think we should take seriously what Batya's point is about the true, pure evil of mass murder.
Right.
That Hitler engaged in, which you can talk about a lot of other authoritarians and authoritarian behavior, and it's not that still.
Correct.
Right? So I guess her question is fair. Why not just compare him to other authoritarians?
I agree. I do it all the time. I'm just saying, and there's nothing that this administration has done in either term that compares to what Hitler did to the Jews of Europe. But nothing compares to it. But there are other really crappy things Hitler did that are not unfair to bring up.
But it doesn't mean that you can't say, for example, when Hitler was leading up to Czechoslovakia, right? And how he went about convincing Chamberlain.
That's why we compare Putin to Hitler.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying, you can talk about historically specific things Hitler did that were comparable to other. But what you can't do is make broad comparisons. But that's what Larry David was doing. Larry David is saying, when you're sitting down with this guy, and he didn't say it's like sitting down with Hitler, but that was the point of the piece, right? Which was in effect, it has the same impact. And that's where you get into trouble. I think you can draw a line and say there's specific historical things you can talk about. But when you make the big picture comparison, that's when you get into some real trouble.
Shame on the New York Times for printing it. How about that?
All right.
Do you know how many letters to the editor they get all the time? They don't print.
I don't want to not to defend the New York Times. I mean, they did write a whole
explanation
about why they did it. They said callbacks to history can be offensive and precise, or in terrible taste, which some people might argue this is, when you are leveraging genocidal dictators to make a point. But Larry's piece is not equating Trump with Hitler. It is about seeing someone for who they really are and not losing sight of that.
Not since the New York Times published an op-ed from Tom Cotton has there been this much controversy at the New York Times.
So I'll just say I think these are really important conversations, and I think we should be always talking about all of the history because this is how we learn. This is how we grow. And it breaks my heart that we have a president who actually wants to erase a big part of what is my history as an African-American woman, as a mother who benefited, who is a white woman who benefited from affirmative action. Again, if we're going to have these tough conversations, let's have all of them.
What the hell happened? Hello?
I have no idea what happened.
What happened?
Joe popped out and Mike popped. They must have both lost internet or something. Well, there's Joe again.
Joe, what happened?
The hell if I know, man.
You, the video, and what you call?
All right, let me close. Well, I'm gonna close. Okay, let me just. I don't know what the hell happened there. I hit something. And
Mike's
away
gone. Your
went.
video's gone.
Okay, well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that. We needed to come back anyway from break. Anyhow, that was weird. That wasn't
I'll
even
bet
what I
you
wanted
that
to
was
play.
the NSA. They got mad because we're telling the truth.
That clip
our broadcast.
Bill Maher was interested. Mark, I think I
There you
seen
go,
the
Mark.
email earlier.
He did it.
It's Bill Maher is weird. I've seen a lot of Democrats turn on the party. I don't want to say turn on the party. It's really not a correct way of saying it, but really re-examining their affiliation with the party, because right now the Democrats. So
Bill Durbin is not coming back.
Yeah, well, a lot of people aren't coming back. And then here's Shapiro up there. People up there firebombing his mansion. And he's getting more attention from the Republicans than he is from the Democrat. And then now they're trying to, they want to throw out Fetterman. They want to throw him to the wolves. So they want to challenge him in a primary next time. They want to challenge Schumer in a primary next time.
Well, Representative DeSantis has been thrown to the wolves. He just got convicted of fraud, several counts of it, and is going to prison for 87 months, over 7 years.
Yeah, so there's a lot changing, but they don't understand if they get somebody in there that can beat Fetterman, who's liked, it'll be a weaker candidate. They may lose that to a Republican. Same thing in New York. You get rid of Schumer. I mean, there was a lot of red counties in New York in the last election.
Okay, well, so we got a Democratic judge who's been arrested. We got a Democratic former representative. I forget which state Santos was for. Was he Florida? I don't know. However, if that's two Democratic officials that are right now under serious federal charges. What if more happen? What's going to happen to the next presidential election if more and more get arrested?
Well, I think you got to say.
Well, Durbin, if you listen to Durbin, he knows there's a civil war going on in the Democratic Party.
Well, there is.
They're so hard up. They want AOC to knock Schumer out.
Well,
that's what.
So yeah. So right now, the two emerged leaders in the Democratic Party are Jasmine Crockett, who's up on charges now for attacking somebody in the press, and AOC. So
who should be up on charges? Who came up?
Well, she's under investigation for
$4.4 million. She's
worth $29 million in 6 years.
Excuse me. Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
So she's
interesting.
So they're going to be looking at her really carefully. I don't know if she can beat Schumer in a Senate. Being in the House is one thing. People look at the House differently than they look at the Senate.
Quite honestly, I don't think she's smart enough to beat a Simon Says machine in a presidential election.
So if she can get a Senate, and even if she can get into Senate, she's not going to be any leader in the Senate because those old guys ain't going to go for it. They're going to be like, sorry, dear. Maybe in 30 years, you might actually get a shot at being.
She's a buffoon.
So I don't know. And that's if she can stay in office. But I don't know if a good Republican steps up there in New York, and because it's a different district than the one she runs in now, that he can't beat her if she beats out Schumer. Because Schumer people might not just come out, and she might get lucky and get it, and then she's got to beat the Republican. I don't know. New York could find one of their senators being a Republican. They were real close last time. There was only 4 or 5%. So the election, there was 11% is what the difference between her and Trump was. The House and the Senate, it was only 6% difference. So it's really, really close. And if the Democrats haven't changed anything between now and then, because AOC is an idiot, And any good senator worth their salt should be able to take out AOC. So we'll see. But Jasmine Crockett, I think the Texans are going to get rid of her on their own. She should have never called the governor Hot Wheels. Personally, I don't find that big of a deal. Welcome back, Michael.
Hey, Mike, welcome back.
You done playing that shit? I hate every fucking person on that show, dude. Like you're torturing me, and they're all screaming Hitler at the same time. I'm like, I can't do it.
See, we get to talk. But I said we get to talk over them.
I wouldn't give them any credibility. I wouldn't give them any publicity. I wouldn't give them any credence. Nothing. They're a bunch of scumbags.
Wait till we do Rachel Maddow.
Scumbag network, scumbag people. You know, they have no business here on News on the Flip Side. We're pure in our pure soul.
Yes.
Over 200 years of experience here.
Pure. Brother Michael, yes.
I'm not getting into this pure stuff. I don't know what you're talking about.
We don't do the corporate bullshit.
Oh, wait. Who is NATO's newest member? What is this? I didn't know he had a new member. NATO's newest member state just intercepted its first Russian aircraft. Woohoo! Woohoo! Who the hell is it?
All right.
It's the Swedish.
Yeah, Sweden, man. Is that
weird? Wait a minute.
Whoa. They've always been neutral in every world war. What is it? Since when?
Sweden is pissed. Now they're going to get you. They're going to come for you.
No, they're not pissed. They're scared.
You come into our airspace, we're going to fuck you up, Putin.
They have traditionally relied on their neutrality to not be attacked by anything.
That's their little badass little jets there.
You got Iceland too, man. I mean, they're all looking for Putin. Putin backed himself into a corner. Trump's giving him a way out, and he's not really taking it unless he's just playing some stupid game. You know.
So they got little griffins.
They're back in Poland. Looks like the Firefox, like from Clint Eastwood's movie.
Yeah, right. I was just watching those clips the other day on YouTube.
Yeah, they call it the Griffin. That's what it said in the thing.
That was a cool movie, man.
That was a good movie. Yeah, he had to think and speak in Russian to make the weapons.
Clint Eastwood had a bunch of movies like remember the Eiger Sanction? The Eiger Sanction, where they had to climb the mountain. He was like looking for the killer. That was really cool stuff, man.
He's cool movies, that's for damn sure.
I love Clint Eastwood, man. I think he's great. It's interesting.
Wait a minute.
He's a vegetarian.
Collection upstairs.
NASA's orbiter spots mysterious tracks on Mars.
He's a vegetarian, man. I didn't know that about him.
Yes, look at this. What is this?
Oh, you know what that is? That is CGI. That's a little ant in an ant farm making a little tunnel. That's all it's doing. It's all it's doing. It's a little ant in an ant farm making a tunnel. Tell me.
I can see
Look at that ant. Look at that trail. That ant trail, man. Look at that ant trail.
Man, you can zoom out here pretty good. That ain't no ant. If it is, it's one fucking big ant, man. Jesus. It's like the size of an 18-wheeler ant. I ain't going to Mars. I'd change my mind.
It's gigantic ant, man.
I'm staying here on Earth. So. Oh, man. I ain't going to Mars now. See, Sean got me thinking about giant fucking ants. Well, we'll send Drax first. I'm sure he'll have lasers and stuff with him.
I think you're right. It should be one of their kids, one of their offspring, one of their progeny. Remember, Elon Musk has 12, 14, 15 kids and a couple of grandkids to have a chance for another Drax.
He probably has more kids. Right?
Oh, it's actually the rover's track across Mars.
Looks like.
Boo! It's clickbait. Boo!
Clickbait.
That's bullshit. Boo. At least y'all don't have to file for it, people. So.
Yeah, but now your news.
So here we go. So this is breaking news, but not breaking news. So they do this big. So they did this big study on the caldera. We're gonna all fucking die from the caldera in Yellowstone. It's gonna kill us all.
A huge caldera.
Yeah, it's gonna die. Guess what? It ain't gonna kill us. First off, they found out that the plug, the cap, has a special feature in the roof that it lets the air bubbles from underneath float up through it and burp out. Then it's got 115 geysers. Half the world's population of geysers are in the park, just steaming. And then they finally get the radar so they can see in the magma chamber. And guess what? It's not full. Matter of fact, it's got hard shit inside of it. The lava's way down. It's so they're figuring they'll know way, way, way before this thing ever blows up. That was kind of interesting. I was like, wow, he said that's a new technology we have now. I can see through that. And then on another weird side note, completely different story, the Russians have some kind of missile killer satellites in space. And guess what? Somehow or another, they all fucking malfunctioned. The Orbiter 2553 series all malfunctioned. It sounds like they're kaput.
I can't imagine those things could last without maintenance, right? I mean, you need some kind of maintenance.
And I imagine Elon, every time he launches one of them Earthlings satellites up there, look, I'm not believing Elon's only got communication on them satellites. Them fucking satellites are big. They ain't no way they got more than that shit on there. I don't know what all he's got on there, but he's got more than that on there.
I'm sure he can retest those things and smash them into anybody else's satellite.
Well, he already told Russia that. Yeah, he told Putin that. Putin was talking shit. And he said, I'll knock all your missiles down and I can build satellites faster than you can build warheads. Which is absolutely true. And he don't have to do that. He just build rockets and send them there and knock them in. I mean, his shit's precise, much more than anything we've ever seen in the past.
What are they going to do about the space junk up there, man? It's becoming a problem, a real problem.
They've been talking about that, hiring a company to go up there and start getting the space junk out. You know, they're debating on whether they should bring it back to Earth and recycle it or send it to the. At first, they said they'd send it to the moon, but it looks like we're going to go to the moon now.
You need some Space Force mafiosa, right? Like with the carding business.
This is
Fat Tony's space carding business. You know.
This is where the caldera is. This is where Yellowstone caldera is. That little red spot, way over here. Most of us are over here, places we've been to, at least for me anyway. If this goes off, we're not going to die immediately, but we will probably
pretty soon. Yeah. Some right there in the Ohio Valley and all from the last eruption, 600,000 years, they found all kind of fossils.
Depends how the wind blows. It's the ash. If you get covered,
it's going no matter what because of the jet streams.
We're talking about.
Yeah, but because of the jet streams, it's going to travel from west to east.
Oh yeah, it's going to block out 5.
Oh, it's going to not just us. China's going to get their asses handed to it.
It's going to go all the way around, and it'll block it out for several months.
No, years and years. It could cause an ice age.
I don't think so.
It depends. Well, no, they talked about this. So the one that was at 600,000 years, it probably lasted about 10 years. The first one that they know of, they say it probably lasted 150,000 years. Easy, they said. It was just because the particulate matter was so deep, it would have took forever to get down out of the skies. Plus, something to do with the atmosphere was thicker than it is now, so it was more dense.
It really, depends on the eruption, you know.
But the last one, though, they said, you know, probably it was out pretty fast. But they said about 2 to 5 years, I think what they said.
It's a long time to reduce your temperature.
But it took up enough ash to bury the entire West Coast, the entire East Coast, half of China. And when it didn't bury in China, it suffocated because it sucked out all the fucking air from around the whole entire top of the planet for at least an hour or more. So basically, from the Gulf of America upward, there was no oxygen. You were just, unless you were somewhere near something, you died right there on the spot. You didn't have to wait for the heat to get you. It's an interesting way to go, I'd have to say.
Yeah, but I think with the effects of what we think would occur, the East Coast would be very badly hit, but it would be like a really bad blizzard. You know, so places that normally get 2 to 3 foot of snow, it's going to be 8, 10, 12 foot of snow.
You got to bug out.
That's not what they're going to get. No, so when the caldera goes, they're going to get 8 to 10 inches of hot ash.
Yes.
That's what they're going to get in the beginning.
Yeah.
And hot ash is going to set everything on fire. It's going to suck all oxygen.
You got to bug out to Greenland.
Yeah. Or bug out south to Florida.
Get further and far enough down
Mexico.
in the Gulf, or get out
Saskatchewan.
Get up near the
north, sir.
The North Pole, but that's going to melt anyway because it's going to get hot.
There is no ground underneath the North Pole; it is all ice. So
they showed the last 3 big eruptions pretty much cover the entire northern hemisphere in ash. So anything alive there was
And
dead.
it goes all the way around back to China and California.
And the bitch part is when it gets pulled back up and recirculated around the planet until it finally settles down and gets covered down or soaked or wet or turned into soil.
California will be the least affected and have the most time to prepare for it because they'll be the last ones hit.
Yeah, because they'll be behind it. I don't know, depending on the blast size, California might be completely gone. It might just be ash. It just depends on the calibrated size.
If it's powerful enough to cause the San Andreas Fault to go active and split that part of we'll lose part of Washington and the other states over there too.
Well, no, they were showing the original size of the caldera today. It extended into New Mexico, not into New Mexico, into Nevada. Yeah. So that means if it was to go today, California would just be gone. It would just be pushed off.
Here, let me show it again.
It would just push it off. Yeah. Well, Glenda, you can't see it anymore because the caldera is filled in and backfilled, and it's got all kind of trees and shit on it now.
It's all damn depressing, dude. Come on with some good shit. This is damn depressing.
I just said you're going to live. It's not going to blow up. That's good news, man. What are you talking about?
Look right here. I'll zoom in a little bit so we're in on Wyoming a little bit better. So it's right here at the top of Wyoming, and it goes at least down to here. You can almost see it. This is it. That's the volcano.
Okay.
And look, it's pointing right here at San Francisco. Sorry, this line right here, that's the San Andreas Fault, and it goes all the way up that way to Seattle. If that caldera explodes and then that fault explodes, all that is bye-bye. You'll never see that again. California will be split in half.
All doom and gloom shit, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's got what is this roughly 30?
Do you know one time?
When will that happen? In the year 2068?
No, think about it. One time, not even all that long ago, they say is that Nevada, all that was under salt water, man. I mean, that's how Salt Lake City was. I mean, that was part of that lake. It was all salt water.
I'm glad you said that. Anytime we're traveling, anytime we hit New Mexico and we're going across, what is it, Interstate 20 up there, and we're just cruising across through New Mexico, through Colorado, through Nevada, into California, all of that shit was underwater. I mean, I always start thinking, man, I'm always waiting for a giant killer whale to come swimming by and eat.
The central part of the U.S. was an inland sea. Most of the fossils in the central U.S. are fossils of sea life.
But you know what, guys? I have seen some weird shit
on the east and west coast only.
I have seen them out there where they were drilling. Definitely were doing some type of thermal energy, which I didn't know we were even tapping at the time. I have seen several times just buses riding into the middle of the fucking desert, riding out. We've seen them going in New Mexico, in Nevada, and East California. It's fucking crazy. We're cruising that. Matter of fact, we stopped to let the dogs take a piss. We're cruising about 90. Pull over and I'm watching. And there's two big buses. I mean, just everyday, tour buses cruising through the middle of the desert, coming out of the desert, actually headed up to some town. I'm like, and there was a military base not too far up in the town.
Were the windows darked out?
Yeah, they were darked out. I couldn't, and there was no name on the side of the bus. I had my binoculars. I didn't see anything. I looked at it. The tag had some kind of, when you looked up at it, it kind of fuzzed. So they had something around it.
Is it what they call a Janet Flight Shuttle or Janet's Shuttle?
I don't know what the hell it was because it was in West Nevada near East California. It was near Cajun Bluff, I think, California. I'd have to look for sure. It's been a long time, so but a couple of times we seen shit up in there. Just matter of fact, I rented an expedition one year, and I wanted to go ride in the desert with him. Of course, first thing they tell you, you can't take this thing off road. I said, yeah, you're shitting me, right? This thing is made for off road. So off road we went, and we've seen all kind of crazy shit out there. The expedition was a great trip. You know what was better though? It was we had a Nissan Armada that was actually better. It was more comfortable for a long drive. And as far as going
I think they sit a little higher from a stock point of view as well. The Armadas.
Yeah. And then Joe and I took I think was it a RAV? I don't know. There's great pictures that I had on the United Public site where it looks like you can see us. We're coming down through the thing, and all you can see is the overside. Of course, there was a little more room than that, but you couldn't tell from the camera shot. Everybody who was watching it was like, "Jesus, y'all like to die." I'm like, "Nah, not really. It was okay." And it was in Sedona, Arizona. You know, I went to every one of those portal places there. Every one.
Yeah, you know what I
I
say?
even went and looked at the UFOs at night and stuff.
You know what I say to people, Joe, that tell me that I'm crazy, that I shouldn't have done that. I'm trying to die. I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm no longer afraid of that. I made it past 30. I'm no longer afraid of dying.
Right. The older you get, the less scared you get of it. What is that, Jenny? As far as you mean, no. So in East California, it's at the California and Nevada line. So Boeing has some facilities out there. They got the pylon facility. It's a big testing of strange wing type craft. They got a big underground hangar out there. I don't know what the hell's in it. We only found it because somebody accidentally spotted the wing tester on Google of all things.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, on Google Earth.
It wasn't an actual flying device. It was just like
it's a pylon that comes out of the ground.
Right, but it had the actual
different wings
silhouette of the craft they were testing.
Yeah, because that's what they did. That's what it's made for. And what they were thinking is that where the hangar doors are isn't actually a hangar. It's some kind of giant wind field that comes out of there. Something they produce themselves so they can test these things. And I was like, well, that could be possible.
Well, I think what
you
they were
can't see
doing,
nothing.
they were seeing if radar targets would work, if they could get radar hits on it.
Well, they stay. I mean, it's supposed to be.
That's the reason to put it out there like that. They're trying to get locks and lock-ons for missile hits.
Well, I'm sure they're doing a lot of things. But I know they're definitely testing wing designs out there. So because you could see.
I like this map. I forget who did that map. Yes.
Yeah, they produced it in Forbes, but it was a psychic who actually came up with this map. And he let me see if I can.
It's one of the flood myth maps, or the future flood myth maps.
Yeah, that's the map of the United States and what he sees. What it's going to be. Something's going to happen. And look at this. We're kind of just talking about this area right here, really.
Yes.
Isn't that interesting?
Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is. No, really.
It's almost the exact area I just mapped out on the other map. It's just a little bit further south.
Hey, where I live will be underwater now. Well, bullshit on this map.
Look at this chunk of land, like right there. Like, what the hell is that?
That's where Joe used to be.
Louisiana's only got a little chip left. No, I live right here on the coast, right here.
Used to, I said.
Right. I still live there because my house.
Yeah, Joe's got waterfront right there. He's got waterfront property.
No, waterfront now. Joe's got underwater front.
No. Only difference for me is
right there, right in front of the beach.
No, I'm telling you, the only difference for me will be is I'll have a whatchamacallit, a pier. I mean a pier. Whatchamacallit going to the land. Whatever the hell you call it. You know, not a dock.
A bridge?
Yeah, I guess you'd call it a bridge, but you got another thing for it. But anyway, it'll go from the house to the land. My house will still be above the water line. You know, it's common in Louisiana to buy you for your house to be above in the water.
The best, right in front of the beachfront property ever.
Yeah, no. Then they got houses like that. And so right now, this is what people don't understand about Louisiana and Mississippi. So places right now, just everyday homes you can go live in that are on the water. There's no land underneath them at all. They're on stilts. My house is on stilts, but my house is on land for the most part. Well, most of the year it's on land, not always, but most of the time.
But Joe's house also, because it's on stilts, it does dance at night. On midnight, the whole house dances.
Yes,
that's why he can't get any sleep.
Especially if you're doing the naughty, it likes to rock with you.
Oh my God!
You know, you're like, ooh, yeah, look at this. It gets in the groove with you. Oh no,
well,
I'm serious.
You live on the East Coast there, Jay. We'll be all right. Us, Mike.
You mean New York is gone, man? Maine's gone. New York's gone.
No.
I can't see Pittsburgh over here. Pittsburgh's okay for the most
Pittsburgh's
part.
okay. Waynesboro is okay. Hagerstown's okay. Western
New
Maryland
York
is
City
okay.
is gone, man. It's history.
New York City is underwater.
We
New York
lose
State,
we lose
most
Buffalo
of
and
it's okay.
Rochester, but that's all right. I'm willing to take that.
So
You'd be okay. Poor Florida is suffering from ED syndrome.
California gone.
It's gone.
All the big liberal shitholes on the West Coast.
It's not. The few mountains they have, you see there will be snow-capped islands for a few months.
But isn't this what it used to look like back in the day? I mean,
No,
I
was
was
different.
just watching a video about Colorado, how it was oceanfront, and Utah. I mean, that's how they got Salt Lake. So I mean, all this was salt water.
But this was closed in over here. It was in the middle of the country. It was like a lake. It wasn't like an ocean. Or it's like
they said ocean, all this land, and Colorado, Denver was underwater, Mile High City, man.
Yeah, all that was underwater, but it was bordered on both sides, though. It was like a leftover from the Ice Age.
It's interesting, though, isn't it?
From one of the Ice Ages, I should say. Yeah. So that's the thing. Land's been changed and shaped so many different times on our planet. I mean, we all started out as Pangea, as one continent, so everything's changed so much and been reshaped. And every time there's an ice age, it gets reshaped again. Or anytime we pass over volcanic areas, it gets reshaped again.
All right. So when's our next ice age supposed to hit?
Another 10,000 years or so.
It's happening right now. If you go by science,
but it won't come to the planet won't be fully starting to ice until at least 10,000 years from now.
Yeah,
we'll be dead by then.
They get them. They happen more often than science originally thought, but
but it's still thousands of years, tens of thousands.
Oh yes, that's The last one was, I think, 10,000. End of the last one was about 10, 15,000 years ago. So that was when everything started receding. And so back then, there was probably cities built all over the place that were above ground, above water. And then as the ice started to recede, the ocean started to fill. And then wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It filled pretty bad. So it tells you the ice was pretty high.
Well, it's double bad because the ice, first it comes down and covers everything up. And when it does that, as it's moving, it's going to destroy buildings and crush them and make marks on the ground. And then as it recedes, it's going to pull all that stuff back with it. And that stuff is going to scrape along the ground until it melts itself out of the ice and stays where it's deposited. So it's gonna look very weird.
It's going to be a strange little place. What's that, Jimmy? No, I'm trying to type something. In America. Yeah, I don't remember. Yes, I know we border 3 major oceans. Thank you very much.
Technically, it's only one. It is the same
that?
water on both sides of the continent.
You know, why is it? I mean, the difference between one side and the other side is quite a difference in height.
Well,
you know what? If you look at the 3 rivers here in Pittsburgh, all right, you got the Monongahela, got the Allegheny, and you got the Ohio. If you look at the Allegheny River through a drone, it's really clean. It's really clean river. But if you go over the Mon, which is like right next to it, it is the most ugliest, brown, nastiest water you ever want to see. And it's true.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that because the Gulf, when I was a kid living down here, was pretty. And then it got really dirty. And then Katrina came along and blew some of the barrier islands in half so the water could get through. Now it's much cleaner. It's much bluer.
You should have seen Lake Erie in the damn 70s. It was nasty. Oh my god.
Yeah, it was. Lake Erie was nasty. Yeah,
disgusting.
It's
yes, it was.
I mean, literally, there was like oil sludge on the water, like constant, like industrial sewage kind of.
Yeah, but you know what? That didn't stop people from going up there on vacation
and swimming in that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't care. I remember when the Lake Pontchartrain would give you earaches.
My dad's sister had a place up there. My brother and sister and I went up there. We hung out with my cousins, my 3 cousins, and my aunt and uncle on Lake Erie shores. And I didn't even take my shoes off walking on that beach. As soon as I saw my sister come back with her feet were covered in like black soot, I was like, no way, I'm going in that water. And I was an expert swimmer at that time. I probably was, I think, 8 or 9. I had the standing record for 8 and under 50-meter butterfly at the pool that I was a member at for the swim team. I had that record for eight years.
That's just like with me, guys. I won't go to a beach. You won't catch me putting a foot.
I won't swim in the ocean.
No.
I won't go anywhere near an ocean.
Oh my
And you know
God,
why?
what is with you sissies?
You know why? Because a shark would happen to look at me, and he would say, "Oh, look at that beluga whale over there. What people are going to come? He got a fat little stomach on him, so we're going to go over and we're going to munch on him." That's why I won't go in.
No. See, no.
I almost got eaten by a shark.
They would eat Jay. They would actually eat Jay first.
Yes.
So they would eat him
They would.
first. First off, you're
I'll
too
tell you
high
why,
in cholesterol.
'cause I almost got eaten by one once when I was a kid, and I will never, because of that experience, I will never go in the ocean on purpose. I'm a lifeguard. I know how to save people's lives. I don't know how to save your life if you're in the ocean.
I hate sand.
I got you
I
covered.
hate sand with
Yeah.
a passion. I hate sand. I hate it. It's gross. It gets between your toes and shit.
There's nothing
No.
appealing to me about the beach except unless it has a very excellent boardwalk. If it doesn't have that, I couldn't care the F less.
And that's why, Joe, we live on the East Coast, man. That's why we live on the East Coast, because I hate the beach. Hated the beach.
They got beaches on the East Coast.
I'm
I've been to them.
between two mountains.
I have been to beaches on the East Coast. Thank you very
Where?
much.
Which ones?
I've been to a couple outside of Norfolk. I've been
That's
to some,
Myrtle, Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Oh, I see. I've been to them, and then I've been to some in. Well, those don't count in Georgia, so those are cheating. But then I've been somewhere. Was I New Hampshire? Somewhere up there. It was sandy and cold. I remember that.
The only beaches in Georgia are in Savannah and Tybee Island.
That's what I was saying. Savannah is where I was at.
Yeah, I've been to those beaches.
But no, I was talking about this
They
was
kinda
further
suck,
up
too.
north. It's
The only way I will go on a sandy beach is like at 5 a.m. with my metal detector and metal detector.
And find
Well, you
shit
love
that all
it
the
down
idiots
here.
like me.
They're always finding shit down here left over from the storms. You get so much stuff.
You got to go to Miami where there's rich people dropping shit. You know what I mean? Like being loose with jewelry. Big money in that.
Yeah.
I'll go with you, Sean, if you do it. I'll go with you to Florida to do that.
Okay.
You can do a whole 2-hour show on it.
Let me tell you a story. I was down when I was married. My sister-in-law lived in Boca Raton, and this is a true story. This old rich lady pulled out in front of a red light. Pulled out, T-boned another car, and instead of calling for an insurance company, the old lady pulled out her checkbook, and wrote this guy who she hit a huge amount of money for the damage to his car. No police, no nothing. I mean, it was crazy. It was just like she put out her paycheck or her checkbook, wrote the check out, and everybody kept quiet.
Yeah, because if there's any fraud being attached to that check, it's on her. I would have cashed that immediately the very next day.
I know a drunken rich lady that does the same shit. Every time she pulverizes somebody, she whips out that checkbook, and then better to go into jail, better than a whole lot of stuff, you know.
Yeah,
man.
I was a bartender at I won't say where, but one of the members. It was a private bar. One of the members had gotten popped for too many times for DUI, so they put this device on his vehicle that he had to blow in to make sure he didn't have any alcohol on him, so the ignition would start. So he always brought somebody with him who didn't drink anything, who was completely a non-drinker, and he would pay for their dinner, drinks, their sodas and whatnot. And then on the way home, after he drank like 15 or 20 beers, he'd have them blow into the car so the car would start so he could drive home.
That's fucked up.
This is how privileged these idiots. This is Montgomery County, Maryland. I won't tell you any more than that. You can zoom in if you want to, but I know a person, and when I was bartending, I knew the law. I had to take a test, had to watch a video and read a book and take a test to get like a driver's license with my picture on it that says I can sell you beer at a restaurant or a bar as a bartending license. That's what I had to get, and I passed the test with 100% I saw one of the members. She came in. I saw her drive into the parking lot, get out of her car, run up the back stairs into the bar. She asked me for a drink of her favorite drink, which was vodka and cranberry in a Go cup. And then I watched her go right back out, down the stairs, back into her car and drive away. I'm like, well, she's cut off if she comes back. She came back and I cut her off and she got pissed. And then she had the manager come up and say, you have to serve her. I'm like, no, I don't. He's like, what? I was like, because I saw her leave with alcohol. I just served her. I'm not serving her again. I'm not risking my license. You want to serve her, you do it. It was against the law. People do some stupid things with beer that you would never believe if you have never been a bartender.
It's a huge fine, too.
Yeah, way huge. $5,000 to me and $5,000 to my friend Brian, who I drove out to Arizona last time, a few weeks ago. We would have both lost $10,000, and they would have shut the club down for a couple of nights. We would have been fired.
Earth to Joe.
I'm here, baby. I'm here.
Yeah. Someone did that to you. That's terrible. Those are terrible.
Earth to Joe. Earth to Joe.
What? I was just reading something. That's all. So I get caught up in this.
No, what porn site were you on?
Alien strippers.
I hate to say I prefer to see it in the flesh, man.
Is that .com or .net?
If I got to do it, I'd rather just have it, delivered to the house. What the hell?
Alien strippers. These alien strippers, do they have free booty?
Hey, Sean, let's get some verification. Is that .com or .net?
So China says gonna whoop our ass if we don't get off these tariffs.
What?
That their military is much more powerful than ours is.
When did they say that?
Just today, I think.
Who wrote that?
Xi Jinping said that.
To who?
No.
To us. To whoever he said it to. He's talking,
He can't be that stupid.
He's
Did he see the submarine?
Well, no, you didn't see the new video they put out? Oh man, so I don't know if I can find it. So they got a new video out showing how they're the stable country. They're the good country. America's the aggressor. They're the one trying to destabilize the world. When China's here only to help and thinks that we should all get rid of our militaries. Yeah, okay. Meanwhile, they're building another aircraft carrier. Bullshit. It's a good kid go bullshit.
Furtherance of what? Who's military? Combined military? What? What are they talking about?
But I had seen it on. I was watching something on YouTube today, and I'd seen the new videos they had out that they're putting out around the world, different languages. She's not as stupid as he looks. He's
Well, no, I knew that. Once I seen the guy.
Hey, Kason, good to see you, buddy.
What a weird world, man. One day you're in court fighting a battle about a hooker you paid off to shut up, and she didn't shut up. Next day you're negotiating tariffs with China and Russia and all that shit. What a weird freaking world.
There's going to be a revolution in China now.
Leave it to Michael to get it down into like 2 sentences. That was awesome, dude.
I read that. Joe.
It's a weird world.
There's a revolution going on in China.
Yeah, well, this is China cancels massive pork order amid trade tensions. Oh, dude, them people are going to be pissed you don't get them their pork, dude. You better be careful.
Get that pork in for those people.
Ukraine.
No more 6 people get you egg roll.
Let's see. The Ukraine splits on Crimea as Vladimir Putin praises Donald Trump with deal getting pretty close.
Yeah, Donald Trump did tweet today or sometime this evening. I don't know when, but he did say that they were pretty close. They had agreed on all of the major points. They just had to button up a few minor things. And
the headlines change by the hour. And if the headlines change by the hour, man, it's it's completely the opposite.
The show.
Like 1 hour is one thing, next hour is the opposite. It's crazy.
4 hours ago now. Okay, 2 hours.
What's this?
What time is it?
See, I was telling you that we've been stretching our nuclear little fingers lately here again. U.S. bombers show up on doorstep of Russia Far East flank. So we just put, let's see, U.S. B-150.
That's okay, buddy. That's all right.
Where'd it go? It disappeared on me. Maybe it'll come back. So it's B-1 bombers We now put B-1 bombers in northern Japan, which means we can hit China or Russia.
Yeah.
Oh man!
And North Korea.
Japan allowed that, but they must be scared for their own ass as well.
North Korea, them too.
Let's see. The United States has stationed a group of 4 supersonic B-1B bombers in northern Japan, which is located close to Russia's far east. Oh man, Russia's got to be crapping itself. What's that, Jimmy? Four of those. I think they can carry about 8 nukes. Probably multi-warhead nukes. So you're probably looking at maybe 16 targets. Yeah, it's devastating.
Oh, did you see Japan's new railgun that they came up with, man? Oh my God. You know what? They're on the cutting edge always of technology. So,
of course they are.
Yeah. China's got to be like, whoa, because they can strike anywhere in China with this railgun all day long and not even waste any money, because those projectiles don't cost all that much, man. It cause unbelievable damage, you know. I saved the story somewhere. Let's see.
Looks like, look at them big, beautiful birds, man. It's
here it is.
Oh, it looks like they're going to deploy a whole task force, which means they'll get another probably 8 more. Wait, here we go.
Another 8 more what? Another 8 more bombers? Wow.
So they're going to get U.S. bomber force consisting of B-1, B-1 Lancers, B-2 Spirits, B-52H Strata Fortress. Sounds like we're going to put a wing over there.
Yeah, a little more than that. The Strata Fortress can carry a huge amount of
Look at that thing, how cool it is, man. It's like in your backyard. It shoots down China's hypersonic missiles.
Nice.
So like, you got these hypersonic missiles. Oh, yeah, look what we got.
We got this hypersonic caseless bullet. See you later.
And Japan say, thank you, United States, for giving us this technology.
Look how small that thing is.
No. You got to almost correct. Japan is saying, we're saying, thank you, Japan, for miniaturizing our technology for us, so that now you can shoot.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. And and Trump's first term, he cut a deal with them to take the technology.
Good.
And they've now done what they're supposed to do. They made it faster, smaller, and cheaper. Yeah, well, they needed to make it cheaper is what they needed to do.
Well, but it's so powerful, it can't go on anything smaller than a destroyer. It would knock over a PT boat.
So
even that thing would knock over a PT boat. I mean, come on.
A lot of these are going to be land-based.
We need it smaller, portable.
Just think about 500 of these along the Japanese coastline, just laying waste.
You could mount this thing on a big enough tank, really.
Yes.
I mean, really.
Yeah. But
you'd have to downsize
in the ocean. You need a very large vessel underneath of it, so it doesn't, rock the boat. Quite literally.
Put it on a barge.
That means we'll see him back on the Zimwalker.
I don't know. I think a barge might flip over too.
So
I like it. I want one. I think it's cool, man.
They are neat. Have you seen any go off?
Hey, Michael, what would you do with one?
I have a whole bunch of things.
Is there a video of that?
I have many ideas.
Yeah. No, that's what they're doing, Jay. They're sending a complete bomber wing over there. So they're going to be F-35s, which they're selling to Japan. So they'll be there, but we're putting
kill switch enabled and everything.
We're putting the B-52s over there. We're putting the B-1s over there.
Kill switch enabled.
We're actually putting 3 different types of B-1s over there. It looks like we got the new B-2 over there as well. They're not fucking around, and they got at least 2 squadrons or 3 squadrons of fighters, and these look like F-22s. Oh no, they're not F-22s.
We already have bases there in Japan anyway.
Yeah, and these aren't F-22s, but no, this is a nuclear wing, is what they call them. And all it does is carry nukes. They don't do anything else. All they are is a deterrent or kill your ass, one or the other. Only one of them's not stealth. That's the B-52. Everything else is stealth.
So, where did they deploy from? Area 52? Nellis?
Yeah, we got them all over the United States. The B-1s and B-52s are all over the U.S. Okay. The new whatever they call the new 2 one is still. It's.
I bet you that flew out of Nevada.
They probably did in the beginning, but
No question on that.
But it's just a B-2 bomber. It's just badass, is what it is.
But if it's still top secret, then it flew out of Nevada.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know how secret they are nowadays, but this is a wing. They're not fucking around. This is enough to really lay waste to Russia or Japan or both, for that matter. I mean, I don't know how many. I know what the B-52s carry.
I don't think our bombing wing is going to decimate their home landing base. They won't be able to get back to America if they destroy Japan. So
they're going to waste to poor little China or Russia then.
Yeah.
Poor China, and they're thinking, oh, we're going to fight, and then all of a sudden, this whole wing shows up in Japan, which is basically spitting across the thing to China. It's
half the wing is stealth, the other half is cannon fodder. Go for it. You're not going to get everybody.
Those B-52s got a lot of equipment on board. They're not easy to shoot.
And also, it goes very, very high. That's why what is it? The Stratofortress goes what, 8-9 miles high, 10 miles high. It goes very, very high.
It's got 8 engines on it too. It's got all kind of equipment.
Yeah, it's probably still top secret how high it goes.
It's got all kind of equipment to keep things from blowing it up, and then you got to remember it's got a squadron of fighters attached to it, and those F-35s are going to kill you before you even get close to it. Yeah, we don't send our bombers out like that.
You mean squadron of fighters, but or squadron of drones? Because they also now have drones, do they not?
Yeah, no, these are fighters. I don't know if they put the drones out on stuff like this. I think they want the pilots to make the decisions. They may have drones with the fighters, but no one's 100% convinced of drone technology and the fact that we don't know what the hacking capabilities are yet. They swear it can't be hacked, and so far it hasn't been hacked, but.
Well, allegedly, the drones are pretty much autonomous, programmed by each pilot individually from their cockpit, and they've kind of tested the technology back in the 70s and 60s and 50s with the SR-71 program, when they had several different types of drones that would autonomously, once they were ramjets, so they had to get at least above Mach 4. To start, and once they started, they did a random autonomous flight over Russia and took pictures with high-speed cameras, and then they didn't dock back with the ship. They had enough fuel to fly back to Nevada and land in the desert and send out a signal to be retrieved.
Well, I mean, I've seen the new.
They work.
Well, I see the new ones that work, but that still doesn't mean somebody can't get in there and.
Well, yeah, but the technology is sound. If you don't hack it, it seems to work just fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not worried about that part. I mean, we're doing that. I mean, we're putting it into our automobiles now, so we know it works pretty good. It's but these. So I've seen the ones for the F-22. They're pretty badass. They look like the F-22 actually, just no pilot on board. And
smaller silhouette though.
So each one is going to have its own 2 wingmen. And it's still going to be a squadron. So instead of being a squadron of 8, you'll have
16, 34,
24. So and they'll be vicious and
the problem is they're also cannon fodder. They can work as
But the problem for our enemies is even the drones can see them long before they can see the drones. So, all of a sudden you got 24 jets flying up there, all decide Fox back 1.
The drones run off the same telemetry as the plane.
Yeah, you hear them just release 24 missiles. Well, you don't even have enough missiles on board to shoot the freaking things down. And it doesn't matter how many planes you're flying, half of them are going to get shot down right there, and you're not even going to know where they came from. It's just going to be like shit. And then by the time you can get to a point to engage them, you may have 2 planes left. America's not playing fair right now, but that's the whole point of having a badass military. So she was talking big shit about his Navy, and it is bigger than us, even though we're starting to build ours again. But their Air Force is nowhere near, or any of their air is nowhere near what ours is. And as far as taking us on an ocean with jets, you're screwed. They got the lousiest jets flying. North Korea got better jets than they got. And U.S. they're not even got a true Gen 5 yet. They're still really Gen 4, and we're working on Gen 6.
Yeah. People think World War II. Here's an interesting say that the planes are weak. In World War II, our planes were weak.
Yeah,
they were very slow. They just called them fat and chubby. particularly the Corsairs, but they were tanks. They didn't have quite the range that the Mitsubishi Zeros did, but they had a lot of armor, so they could stand in a firefight longer. That's really why we won the wars. Endurance, not
and bigger guns,
distance, and and staying up in the air a lot. It was taking hits and sending back bullets.
The Zeros were badass. I mean, they were fast.
They were badass planes, but they had zero armor on them. If we got close enough with our slow, fat planes, we could tear them to shreds.
The Corsairs were pretty badass, but they were definitely tanks. There's many stories of them coming in pieces. Jack, you know the Corsairs were Navy planes. Yeah, they weren't
A7s.
Yeah.
Were they the A7s?
I don't know.
F4U. F4U.
Okay, because I was with the. I was.
Yeah, you were with the Corsairs. I was with the Corsairs too in my reserve time, but that's those are different. Yeah, those are whole different. That's with jets. These are still prop planes. What we're talking about.
I remember VA-87. We were called the Golden Warriors.
Yeah, we were called the River Rattlers.
Black Sheep Squadron, man.
Yeah.
Remember that TV show? That was like the greatest show, man. Black Sheep Squadron. God, haven't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah.
Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what movie I saw the other day, Michael?
What movie?
Kelly's Heroes.
I was gonna say Kelly's Heroes, man. That's a great movie, isn't it?
I love it.
Lesbian movie.
Yeah.
Bite your tongue, Matildo.
I thought it was one about lesbians, but I don't know. I don't know what these movies.
I think everybody's famous is in that movie, man. I mean, think about the cast is
you
incredible.
sell Kelly's blowjobs. I think there's some kind of weirdness going on here. I mean, I don't know what to think.
Yeah. Telly Savalas, Carol O'Connor, Donald Sutherland, Clint Eastwood, Don Rickles. I mean, oh my God. It was
basically every gay person in Hollywood. Okay, I got you. All right, we're good.
Carol O'Connor being a crazy general too, man. I love it.
Yeah.
No, it's a movie about a heist of gold behind enemy lines. So all these troops, our troops got together.
Oh, I do think I remember seeing that damn movie. That just said that.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But you know what? That German man, he looked kind of funky.
Dirty Dozen. That's another great movie. Dirty Dozen.
Yeah, that was a good movie. I like that one.
Where Eagles Dare was another good movie.
Clint Eastwood, right? Was it Clint Eastwood, right?
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
The first R-rated movie my dad took me to see was a World War II movie called "The Eagle Has Landed." It's a Jack Higgins novel about the alleged Hitler, ploy to send German troops trained in England without German accents to go and either assassinate and/or kidnap Winston Churchill. Very good movie.
Yeah.
It's a fictional World War II setting, but it's a very good movie.
What other one? Where Eagles Dare was a good one. Platoon was a good movie.
Guns of Navarone?
That was a good movie. Guns of Navarone.
Force 10 from Navarone, man. That was great.
Part 2 was pretty good. Also, those two were fictional.
Hey, Michelle, good to see you, hon. Thank
hey
you
guys,
for popping in.
what about the bridge on the River Kwai?
Hello. That was a good one. That was a good
also
movie.
fictional.
That was a good one. Platoon was a good one. They had Charlie Sheen, Tom Berenger in that one.
That one was okay.
William Dafoe.
Michael J. Fox is in that as well.
Yeah. Johnny Depp was in that.
Yep. All the young actors are in that.
Amber Turd's husband. Okay, that's all how I'll remember him forever. It's Amber Turd's husband. Anyway, we're going to take a break, guys and girls. So we'll be back in about 7 or 8 minutes. I want y'all to chill back, listen to music.
Aren't I playing the song this time, right? Because of that?
Yeah, yes, you are, Michael.
You better hurry up because I got Charlie Daniels queued up. So you better hurry up and put something up there.
I got better than Charlie Daniels, man. No, you're gonna really like
as bad
this
as
one,
mine,
man.
or you're gonna, we both might get cut off.
I think you're all
going to
gonna
start
like this
banning
one,
people
man.
from playing music on this show. I can tell.
I think it's good.
Oh,
I think you're gonna
see. That just tells me I want to jump off a bridge right now, man. I can just fucking tell. Oh,
you're gonna love this one, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
What the hell? What the hell? Jackson Squad on the roll. Some kind of weird shit Michael was playing.
I have seen the Trans-Siberian Orchestra when they were very not popular yet in the early 90s, I think.
I saw them too, buddy.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. I saw them in, it was either Kennedy Center or some other indoor venue in Maryland, D.C. area. But, they were known for doing the same kind of thing. They were taking like rock and roll songs and playing them with a chamber orchestra. There was, it was a cello, a viola, and a violin. Just 4 stringed classical instruments. It's cool stuff.
You ever watch their song, the Christmas? Their set, a Christmas.
It's Carol of the Bells.
We play it on this network all the time, don't we?
Yeah, Carol of the Bells.
Their lead guitarist man plays. First Noel. Oh my God, can he jam? Oh my God.
Well, when I saw them, they did not have a guitarist.
Yeah, they got one. They don't always use him, but he's in there.
Yeah, when I saw them, they had a classical setup only.
They had a cute little Chinese girl that played the violin, and it was an electrical violin.
Yeah, I remember her. What happened to her?
It was, yeah.
Now, there's Lindsay Sterling who plays the violin. She's a high little
she's
thing.
hot, dude. That's one hot woman.
Yeah, she is.
She is.
And she plays a lot of different things. I mean, she plays a lot of music.
She wears like short skirts and shows.
You know how she got famous, right? I forgot what game she used to do the music for. One of the games, one of the real popular games.
Joker's Wild.
I don't know what the hell the name of the game was.
Video game.
Let's make a deal.
Yeah, there's a video game. There's a famous video game. Yeah, I just can't remember which one it was. And
look it up, Jay.
What's her name?
Grand Theft Auto.
Lindsay Starling.
Siphon Filter.
Lindsay Starling or Sterling?
Sterling.
Sterling.
Let's see.
No promos, Joe? No promos?
Yeah, we ain't playing no promos. Screw them damn promos. It's that's all I gotta say about that now, huh?
Now.
It's well, I like to play them sometimes. It just depends what kind of.
All right, so she did Skyrim, the main theme, Halo theme song, Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, she did some big ones, man.
Forgotten City. She doesn't do anything. Yeah, she
does. Yeah, but that's how she got famous, and then she just started doing her own thing. But my son's who turned me on to her. I had heard it on some of the games he was playing. I was like, "Who is that?" And he said he's telling me about her.
Yeah.
And I started listening to her. She's really good. I mean, her Christmas stuff is excellent too.
Yeah.
Videos. Yeah, she is good.
I'm not sure when it comes to Carol of the Bells which one is my favorite because there's a few of them I like. I like her version. I like the orchestra's version, but I like them damn little kids version too, and which are probably all grown ass adults now. But it's and she does some other stuff too. She's recently gotten some different. You know, they got to try Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the one with the little kid walking around.
Yeah,
there's that version, and then there's the version when they're at a concert somewhere because it's all lit up and they're all hovering around. And then there's the Tabernacle Choir,
the Christmas Canon.
Yeah,
the little kid singing.
Yeah, that's The Bria, Carol of the Bells, Libria. It's Ibera. Libria. I don't know what the hell that is actually. It's but all of them are good versions. I mean, it's not like any of them are bad. What is that Chris play when it's not Christmas, man? It's not even fucking June. What are you talking about? Yeah, see, this is the one where they're the full orchestra at. They got all the lights and the flames and stuff going on and things. Oh no, you're thinking of what's her name? Ramstein. That's who you're thinking of, yeah.
What about that Lizzo, man? You don't like the Lizzo? The Lizzo?
She's all
right. But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of good ones on there, and it's you're talking about Jesse. You're talking about Ramstein. I know who you're talking about.
Ramstein is a German death metal band.
Here, look, you know what? We're gonna play this since we didn't take a break. Now, this song, I'm not gonna put it on the English version because if you ever hear the English version, Well, it's pretty much just I hate you, fucking hate you, I hate you. It's pretty much all the song says. But in the German version, it's just fine.
I mean, almost all their albums.
Yeah. I mean, you listen to what is it? 99 Left Balloons. It sounds better in German than it does in English.
Does.
You know, it's one of them things, man. Sometimes they sound better that way. No, Phil, we're gonna play this, and then we're going back to chatting about whatever the hell we were chatting about. Oh, actually, some other stuff. The Russians, the Chinese threaten us with a group. We'll have to talk about that. From Rammstein. I mean, come on.
Rammstein, du hast. You hate.
Rammstein, du hast. I hate you, you fucking stupid ass. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I apologize.
No, I gave you the exact lyrics in private chat if you want to read them. They're quite graphic.
People, you should not be reading this stuff. It is bad for your little eyeballs. Anyway, let me get us out of that queue so we can all be happily back into the. There we go. Woo! Look at us. All right, you sexy bastards, get back on camera. Michelle said she don't see y'all on camera. She's gonna cut one of your nuts off. I'm just being upfront with y'all.
Well, if she doesn't mind me,
and wait, she said something about some kind of magic power, which makes this invisible rubber band around just one of them, and just you can't get it off.
She's okay with me smoking a cigarette on camera.
Very, very kinky stuff there, man. You know,
it's no smoking allowed. I mean, you got to give that shit up. It's bad for your health.
I know. That's the thing. I'm having
a friend of mine.
Very, very kinky.
A good friend of mine.
Germans are very kinky in general.
Yeah, they are, man. That's not.
Germans are strange. They're not as strange as Japanese, kinky wise, but they are strange. You're right.
Wow.
Yeah, Japanese are really strange.
Really, really weird.
Very, very, very
nice.
If you're from Japan,
yeah, I mean, they have grown women that carry around Hello Kitty bags, man.
Yes.
Japan is a weird place.
And talk like cartoon girls. Yes, it's really strange.
And all of a sudden, we'll put a whoop ass on you like you don't know what got hold of your ass.
Oh, you know what?
One of my very good friends and roommates from college is living in Japan. He's married to a Japanese lady. He lives in Japan right now.
Oh, so yeah, we kicked your ass a long time. It's
so if I ever get to, there's a place there I want to go called Ultraman Land. It's kind of like their Disney World. I want to go.
$5 make you holler.
Yeah, you got to go to Taiwan for that. But
yeah,
in Japan, people like $500 make you holler.
You
500 USD, and that's like
$1.50. You go to Japan, $1 US gets you about $2.15 in Japanese yen.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
You go to Thailand, $1 US gets you about I think it's 30 or 40,000 Thai baht. You can buy the country for that.
Really loving
I just said anime. Yeah, a lot of
they're
anime.
They're bigger than the anime over there. They really are.
Yes,
it's partly our fault.
Like cartoon girls.
Because I mean,
very
there's been generations of America that's been big into anime. I know my son's generation is the not the Z gen. What's the fucked up generation? The millennials. He's a millennial. He's not as fucked up as the Z gen as well. You know, guys, I thought the baby boomers was fucked up, and they are. Don't get me wrong. They're a little whacked, and
what are you talking about, Joe? The hell? I'm a boomer. I'm a boomer.
Man, well, you know, you fucked
up. I'm a boomer. Be careful, dude.
So we're the ones who created the last feral generation, which is the X generation. And they're more fucked up.
I'm a boomer, dude.
I'm actually Generation X, man. I was one of the first ones in the door.
So they're the last of the feral generations. They're the ones that still.
66. I'm right on the cusp.
So everybody in this chat used to go outside and play outside. Mom, get the fuck out the house. Go do something with yourself. Disappear for hours. Come back for dinner. I mean, that was life. Oh no, not today. Today it's.
Yeah, you're right, Joe. You're right.
Oh, let's meet at the mall and eating at the mall. They're like, I mean, okay.
You know what, guys? Look at it. When we grew up, we ate all kinds of nasty shit, but we're still alive.
Spam.
And today,
spackle. You a spackle?
No spackle, man. Sean likes spam. I like spam. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Spam, man.
We had spam all the time. I love it. I haven't had it in a long time, but we had it way back then.
You know what else is good? A little food porn here tonight, guys. I'll tell you what else is good. You get a 2-inch slice of bologna, and you grill that bad boy and throw some barbecue sauce on it. I'm telling you.
Well, I can eat it without the barbecue sauce, but yeah, no. When we were kids, we ate all that shit. We'd go outside and grill it up and stuff. Parents were like, "What are you doing? Nothing. We're not burning the house down, so don't worry about it." So no, they didn't. I mean,
so I remember that.
I mean, you know, So the first time my son got to shoot a gun, he was 12, I think, or maybe 10. I think his friend took him out. Anyway, Pran means Godfather before anybody asks. Anyway, he took his friend took him out and to teach him how to shoot a pistol. I think he was 10. And then around 11 or 12, I said, let's take out all the kids and we'll take one of the shotguns with us and we'll take some watermelons out and show what happens when you shoot somebody in the head. And you could tell they wasn't expecting what they saw because, of course, it blew the living watermelon. So they were like, holy shit. So I gave them an idea what the gun could actually do.
Love those.
But
fried
still,
bologna
even
sandwiches are awesome.
Fried bologna on toast.
Oh my God, dude, they're gay guys. I knew it. I
Fried
knew they were
bologna
gay.
with cheese and egg. Way to go.
Now they're just getting gross.
Yeah. Why ruin a perfectly good fried bologna sandwich, Sean? Shame on
I
you.
know, man. Oh my God. So good.
Should I'm gonna turn the monsters loose on them. I know I was in the alien city fucking house where I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no, get the chihuahuas in here, man.
No, Chihuahuas are sleeping good. We had a little storm come through earlier, so they hide now.
That sleeping
It's,
chihuahuas.
Yeah,
Chihuahua.
so
What do they do when they chihuahua when they sleep?
they sleep. They snore actually.
Do they go chihuahua?
They snore. You gotta kick them and wiggle them and shit. They're like humans.
I like what Heidi says. She says, my post. I could live off post.
I couldn't tell you the last time I ate any spam. It'd been a long time.
Spam is freaking
Been a long
good.
time. I'm
I'm
somewhat.
thinking.
I can eat a whole, you know what? A whole can of Spam. I can make 3 sandwiches out of a whole can of Spam with cheese and have all 3 sandwiches in a sitting. Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think my mom just put butter on it.
It's I don't know. It depends what we were doing. Sometimes they had mayonnaise, sometimes they had ketchup, sometimes they had barbecue
I think my mom put butter on both sides of the bread so that the wet slimy Spam wouldn't soak the bread by the time we got to lunch at school.
No, I never do that. No, you gotta get that right off the freaking frying pan and eat it. You can't do it.
No, this was right out of. No, it wasn't even fried. It was just right out of the can.
No.
Yeah, it's ready to eat out of the can, dude.
It sounds like
that shit is K-raised, dude.
Anyway, enough about this shit.
Wow, that's weird.
So while y'all are talking about food, China's talking about blowing us up.
Yeah.
It says China has deployed.
Bring it, China.
China has deployed a group of warships to the Western Pacific after the United States ship-killing missiles in the Philippines. Oh, we put ship-killing missiles in the Philippines? I didn't know we even did that shit.
Wait. How does one sub constitute killing ships in the area?
So yeah, we put ship-killing missiles there. Okay, well that's interesting. Why we did that.
Man, I'm hungry now.
See, y'all should be talking about that stuff. See, that's what happens when you get on food.
I'm hungry.
I'm gonna find Spam a lot.
UFO shoots down. UFO shot down over Yukon remains unexplained. What? Come on, I want to see y'all shoot down.
That's clickbait.
I want to see what happens to F-22 shoot down a UFO.
Yeah,
and look, I love my F-22s, but still. Actually, you know what? I got to go look and see. There was some news I want to talk about, but my brain went somewhere else. Oh, Kremlin ready for deal with U.S. on Ukraine, but with condition. Russian foreign minister says so. They're almost ready for this deal.
That's what Trump said. Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets this, and then he gets the Israeli deal, and he's also working on some other deals I didn't know he was working on. It's like 4 deals here. He gets them all, man. The world will actually be, should I say this, at peace?
Well, unless India and Pakistan don't escalate any further.
Hey, can't we enjoy that moment for at least a minute? Seriously.
Just kick his ass, Sean. Kick his ass. I'm with Sean. Kick his ass.
1 minute, Greg.
Oh, man.
Hey, 1 minute.
That's what we're going to start calling him.
Was 1 minute of having world peace. 1 minute. That's all I ask for.
1 minute,
You
man.
throw in Pakistan and India, dude.
I say we nickname him Doomsday J. That's right. We're gonna tell.
Well,
I'm gonna
good
call
luck
him Jeffrey.
keeping peace in the Middle East. There hasn't been a peaceful decade in that region in my entire 58 years. I'll be
When Trump was president last time, it was peaceful over there. There wasn't nothing going on.
Not that much. There were still.
They're scared of Trump, and I think if we take Israel's Iranians
How can
nukes
you
away,
jump from Pakistan to India over to the Middle East that quick?
well, it is the Middle East. It's
You're
what
just
it
saying
is.
trying
I
to
mean,
get peace.
well,
That-
okay,
that-
it's
that region's
it's
been one of the
Asia.
most volatile of any of the other place on the earth.
It's Asia and the Middle East. Sorry,
Yeah,
it's
That's better.
it's an extremely volatile region.
Lord, I ask for 1 minute. World peace.
I know. That's what I'm telling you. He's Doomsday J, man. That's his new nickname. I'm gonna put it on his. I'm gonna put it on his thing. Doomsday J.
Well, we
That's-
talked
that's
about it a
what's
bunch
in.
of times. Why isn't there peace over there? There's too many.
The closest planet
religions
outside our
belong to the
solar
same region.
system
Oh my
is
God.
within reach. Wait. Now we can get to a planet. Whoa, when would this happen?
Huh?
It says the closest planet outside our solar system is within reach all of a sudden.
When?
It's 5 years away, 4 years away, Proxima Centauri. So actually, it's 3.85 years or some shit. I don't know why they always round up. So yes, they say we can go to Proxima now.
You can
So
fly the Blue Origin giant penis up there, man, and kind of have a go with it.
The giant vibrator. Hey, you got to say it's a big ass vibrator, biggest vibrator in the world, probably.
Yeah,
It's,
Proxima Centauri, 4.246 light years.
It vibrated a bunch of women. What are they called now? The astronauts, I think they're called.
Oh, it's not Proxima. It's one of the other Centauris that are actually close to that. It's which one is it?
Well, the Cayman line is, Michael, to answer that question, is 62 miles, which is technically just a political border. So, are they in outer space? No, they're still within the atmosphere of the Earth.
When do you experience weightlessness? Like what?
Not there. On the way down, perhaps they did if they dropped right away. But
Well, how come that girl's boobs didn't blow up?
because she didn't go up there, that's why.
Okay. I was waiting for that one.
I guarantee you, they were sitting in a duplicate capsule that was already on the ground. There's no way those 5 or 6 women went up there. There's no video of it, of them getting into the thing. There's no video of them coming out. Let's see the whole video. Let's see them in the capsule on the way down, screaming and yelling at the tops of their lungs. They'd be losing it. They come out of there, they're all like, stunned and shocked. They're not out of breath from screaming.
Like Bezos had a special tool to open the door, and they opened it first.
From the inside, he was able to, yeah.
And then what? Katy Perry, who said, "Can't you feel the love?" And goes out and kisses the sand.
I don't wonder what she was smoking before she got in there, or while she was in there. What were they passing around while they were waiting for the cameras to roll?
I don't know.
That's why they pulled the door open. They've been sitting there too long. It got hot. They wanted out.
Yeah, it's
their makeup was starting to run. Let us out.
I mean, their makeup was perfect when they got out of there.
It was air conditioned, man.
If those women went up in a rocket and then came down in perfect makeup, I would lose it. They would be screaming their eyes off the way up and the way down. There's no way their makeup was perfect. No way. It's impossible.
Oh man, come on now. You just hate.
Unless they brought makeup with them to fix when they were on the ground waiting to get the door open. No way their makeup was perfect. Their lipstick didn't run, but I'll bet everything else looked like crap.
Donald Trump throws support behind new Democratic priority. Wait, what? This wasn't even what I was clicking. Where'd this come from? What is this? I hate when I click something and it gives me something else. It always irritates me when it does that. Trump loves America more than any president before him. Well, that may be true.
I think he does love America. I'll give him that, man.
He does seem to love his country. Extraterrestrial aircraft spotted in California. California seeing UFOs.
You got a picture?
Got pictures, got videos, interviews.
Yeah, throw it up.
Hold on, I'm looking to see if it's got anything before I go stick y'all watching.
I want to see an interview with an alien. I
Oh,
want to see like
it's clickbait is what it is. They had a lot of text with some pictures of UFOs. It's clickbait. It's
What about that Paul video, man? What do you think of that?
The what?
That alien that was being interviewed, Paul. What is his name?
Oh man, no, whatever his name was, J Rod or whatever the hell the fuck his name was. Look, to me, I have a fundamental problem with any captured extraterrestrial whatsoever. It's I just first off, I don't think we could capture one and keep one. I think just their willpower, their brain power is enough to pretty much kill anything around them.
Well,
I think they could kill the entire base if they really wanted to. So I'm not.
Yeah, I agree. But if I can relay the story as I have understood it, the first EBE we came along, they found after the Roswell event. Well, at least as far as the way I figure the story, that EBE lived until 1957 or 8, just before his rescue team came from his homeworld. He died before they got here. So that kind of messed up the negotiations between us and them. But in any event, they said, we'll switch you out with EBE2, which we had him until I think, I forget when, the 60s or so. J-Rod allegedly, there's two ways we acquired him. Either he's from a crash that we knocked out of the sky, or he was another hostage that was given to us by the same species. And he worked at Area 51 until like the mid 80s, when he died of like a flu type of thing. And that's it in a nutshell.
I don't know. You think there'd be a lot of material out there, from one word, if they did have access to
because more than likely, pretty much everything that we think the government has is probably bullshit. It's the problem is with all of this stuff is there's no way to verify any of it. Then it's disappeared away. You can't get anybody at Area 51 to ever say there's any aliens out there. Even when you listen to Bob Lazar, who's talking about, he's not talking about aliens. He's talking about.
He never once saw an alien, only photos.
Yeah. And nobody else has either, for that matter. So the problem with it is
there are some eyewitnesses who claim they did see. And sometimes he's pronounced J. Jared. That alien was allegedly witnessed by several of the later Area 51 whistleblowers, but none of the others were. The other two were not. They're still kind of hush-hush, like Majestic 12 level secret.
Yeah, because I can't see the Greys leaving any of their people behind unless they wanted them to be here.
Yeah, and if that's who they are, that's why they're kept so.
I mean, there's no other way that. I mean, it wouldn't matter what alien it was. The Greys weren't going to let us capture any aliens of any kind. They're going to be like, "What the fuck? We're not letting you have any."
Well, we didn't capture him. We found the guy injured on the desert floor, and
I think the ones when they crashed the Roswell craft, I think those 3 Greys or those 4 Greys actually were working with them. I have no doubt that the Greys were working with them on that craft, because when I was thinking about this, we've always talked about the humans gave the Germans a craft at the end of the 18th century, the start of the 1900s. Okay. They gave them a craft. So of course the Germans didn't know what to fucking do with it, because
nuts and bolts craft, not a living craft.
Like it's not enough. So it got me to thinking this was not a Grey's craft. Unless this was so far back in the Greys past that to them it was just garbage. But I don't think it was. I think it was somebody else's, maybe a reptilian.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think they were helping us try to figure it out, and I think that's why there was the contact. Because when we went back after that event, there was only one of their species surviving from that. We immediately called their species for rescue, and it took 10 years. That's why. And then he died of like a simple thing, like a throat virus or something.
Well, the thing about it is and if it's the true Greys, it didn't matter anyway, because once his life went into jeopardy, his consciousness left anyhow. So it went seeking one of the craft. So the body that was here still would have had a consciousness, and it just would have only lived until it lived, and then it would die.
Well, yeah, but they only have like 3 days to retrieve the consciousness.
Oh man,
no, not on a Grey. A Grey can project
zombie alien. Come on, man.
Well,
zombie alien.
That may be, but in any event, his
alien that dies but is still conscious and needs to eat brains. I love it, man. Every time you bite somebody,
dude, there's not a movie out like that, Michael. Why don't you write a movie about
zombie aliens?
I'm sure there already is one.
I don't know. It's a very strange thing, but it does seem like they were trying to help us learn how to use it, because that was a cheat. That means they could cheat and not be giving us technology, but still helping us learn. But unfortunately, they or somebody crashed that fucking thing, and it crashed and it went down. And the Grays should have, I don't know. It seemed like the Grays maybe should have stayed on board, because whatever that escape craft was some flimsy shit. I mean,
General Twining and General Ramey, who were prominent Army Air Force generals at the time, later on, just before passing, kind of both agreed to saying that they had, the idea was that we were trying to lure the UFOs back there, because there had been a UFO flap the month earlier in June. So they tried to lure it back in the end of June, beginning of July, with the intent of using the new focusing radar to try to knock it out of the sky, which you said that they probably wouldn't be able to do. But in any event, it's always been mine, and a few other people had thought lightning brought them down. And I thought, well, what if it was lightning, a combination of both lightning and that focusing radar, that new targeting radar we were working with? Maybe those two radiations.
And you know what? And
if
they're interdimensional crafts, I could maybe go for that. But if they're interstellar craft, not a shot in fucking hell. The radiation just in the Van Allen belt alone is far more than anything we're going to be able to shoot at them.
Yeah,
there's nothing here. And as far as a lightning charge goes, they're probably producing more power.
A lot of energy.
But they're probably, that's what I'm saying though. They're probably producing more power than that. So for them, it's not. For us, you got to remember, we think of things. We're trying to put our limitations on them. I would doubt that their craft, any craft they probably built that could probably cross the cosmos, would be able to.
Again, we also agree this isn't a Gray's craft. It's just being operated by Grays.
Now that's true. Yeah. So it isn't a Gray's craft. Now, and see, and this is where it gets titsy witsy. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. I apologize for that.
Titsy witsy is like when we were 5.
Yeah,
but okay, I know where you're going.
Idea where that came from. I apologize. But anyway, thinking about it from that point of view, that it probably wasn't the Gray's craft. Whose craft could it have been? Now we know it went down. We know it came down intact. The craft did, because it was recovered. Where was it? Corona, or wherever the hell it was.
It was in Corona, 70 miles on. I think
so the craft stayed intact, which is what I would believe from a craft that could cross through the cosmos. I don't think it would just break up on an impact. But whatever the Grays were in did. Yeah, whatever the Grays were in did break up though. And so they bring it back. They bring the craft back, which of course Lazar says was the sport ship model, which is what they described it as back then. The same thing, basically. I mean, it's pretty much the same description. So whose craft was this? So if this was a reptilian craft, a combination of a few things, I still think you would have needed something with a much higher energy than a lightning bolt, because our lasers, especially our new ones, are have more power than a lightning bolt.
Well, we didn't have the laser back then. Yeah,
I know, but when I'm thinking of something else, that maybe we got our hands on something else. Maybe we got something we recovered from the Germans. I don't know. But regardless, I really think what happened was we just crafted.
Allegedly, it was all part of Operation Paperclip. They were over there, and I don't know what the time frame is, but it's the end of the war, and they're taking stuff back. So they bring back the main craft, the sport model, and then once they get it to a chinched up area, probably Wright Patterson, I would think at first, until Area 51 was up and running in 57. But they realized there were some key equipment, some components taken out of the sport craft. So they went back. When they went back for Vernon von Braun, he helped them find the pieces that were missing, and they grabbed those. And then that's all that I know about that piece.
Well, Vernon von Braun was banned to see it in the United States.
Yes.
The government said, no, you're not getting around the fucking thing. Sorry, buddy.
People don't realize he was a war criminal.
He was a war criminal. And, I mean, he created a lot of the weapons that killed a lot of people. So but his vision was not to go to the moon. And you know, when I was talking with Carol Rosin about this, you know, one of the big things about him was that.
What are you doing?
They were not talking about going to the moon. They were talking about going to Mars. The moon was just supposed to be the testing spot.
Yes.
We were just going there to make sure that everything would work the way it was supposed to. And then we were going to build a bigger craft to go to the moon with. I mean, to go to Mars with it.
And also allegedly, and also unproven, but they had already said that there was a Nazi base up there where several Nazi, once the supply chain is turned off, are probably dead by now.
Yeah, they've talked about that before,
Yeah.
and somebody said that may have been what what's his face saw Neil Armstrong, but Neil describes it as aliens, and I didn't realize though he actually talked about this on more than one occasion about being warned off on the moon, and then there's other clips you can hear other astronauts talking about. Oh, they're right there. They're just staring. Or there's one guy. The whole entire time the lander was on the ground, somebody was knocking. Can you imagine being on a fucking moon and somebody's on your outside of your spacecraft? I mean, you got to be shitting yourself. I mean, what else would you be doing?
NASA, we have a problem. We're launching now. Where is our module?
Out of here, NASA.
Rendezvous. Get me the F out of here.
That's right out of some horror movie somewhere, man. I was like, shit.
That's some Area 51, alien xenomorph kind of shit happening.
You hear that knock, boom, boom, boom. You answer, and it's JD Vance.
The Reaper. The Reaper.
Shake my hand.
Gentlemen, I got to run. I got to go. I got to get to work in the morning.
See you, man.
I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
Sleep good, baby. Sleep good.
And then there were 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, then there was 2.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, if I land on the moon and someone's knocking on the door already, yeah, I'm hitting that launch button.
Jay and I did the show for 3.5 hours a couple weeks ago. It was just us. It was good too, man.
It's good. No, you can do a show like that. It's what's fun about these shows is you can talk about a lot of things. You can cross a lot of things. I mean, we're a little more restricted on this one than we are tomorrow night, but still. It's what's that? Jana Lee. What kind of name is Jana Lee? Where are you from, Jana Lee? Where? Oh, okay. Helsinki. I don't believe you. You sound like you some redneck from Alabama.
How do you get sound from a text?
It's more when you've been reading text as long as I have, you can kind of tell.
It's the syntax and the grammar, yeah.
It's just because I remember the old days, people used to kind of come in the chat room with new nicks and try to fool you, and I'm like, no, sorry. 2 paragraphs, I'm like, you busted. You busted. Well, everybody's guilty of it. It's just one of those things. Yeah, you can come and talk on us if you're brave enough. We can give you a link, and you can click on the link, and it will bring you here. Or if you're scared to be on camera, you can turn the camera off and just talk to us.
But if you babble insane babble, we'll boot you right on out of there.
Who are you talking about? Which girl? Oh, you mean? Well, no, there was 2 girls with us last week. Laura Lee joined us, and Leah joined us. Oh, and Carolyn joined us. So I mean, who are you talking about? You're gonna have to give me more than that. Not gonna be any of the 3. I don't know. I don't know. They join us when they want to join us. They don't join us when they don't want to join us. That's part of doing the radio show. No, we talked about some news tonight. We don't, because really, there's not all that much to talk about.
There really isn't.
Other than most people crying about Trump, we talked about the peace going on in Ukraine. We talked about Iran. We talked about a few other things besides that.
The old Democrats getting arrested for felony charges.
Yeah. Well, we talk in between. We talk other stuff, but and then whatever's going on tomorrow night, we'll talk about.
Might
as
have
well,
missed the food porn segment. If you weren't here for that, we apologize.
Any news we missed? No, I mean, yes, the Chinese did deploy a fleet to the Pacific Ocean, and it's all badass looking until ours rolls up, and then it looks like, carving like a cardboard copy of ours. It's one of those things. The U.S. has got a badass military. You don't want to go screwing around with it. And and as China realizes, our bombers can reach them from anywhere. Yeah, our bombers can reach you from anywhere in the world. Even from the United States, we can reach your ass from anywhere in the world. So
our bombers, some of them can change crew and gasoline while still flying.
Yeah. So
let me say it again because it's kind of important. They can change cruise and gasoline while flying. And I don't mean change cruise like CRUISE, like change cruise speed. They can change personnel on board.
Yep, they can. Sometimes it depends what kind of plane it is, and some actually carry 2 crews on board, and they just flip flop them around.
B-2 bomber can circumnavigate the Earth and never land and drop bombs all day. I mean, pretty interesting stuff.
It does have to land to get new bombs.
Got to get the bombs, man.
Yeah, that's the only unfortunate thing. It does have to land.
Not if you have a laser.
But it can drop it selectively. You can drop it 1 bomb at a time, or it can go and carpet bomb.
Laser weapons, man.
Man, we're gonna make drones that can bring them bombs. Just give us time. Just give us time.
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, you could make drones the size of bombs and connect them into a bomber and just like fly over, boom, drop 500,000 pounds of autonomous drones into an area.
I see. That's what we're gonna have to watch. China's gonna make 5 billion these little shitty, crappy drones.
And once they get the idea, I shouldn't have said anything. God damn it! Pardon my.
No, they do it there first. And it's funny is their technology.
Already thought of it, probably though. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, ever since we leaked out the technology that lets you merge your drones together, I never understood why we did that.
But they're the ones who came up with the transformers. Isn't that funny?
It's a strange thing, but we could have kept that technology for a long time, and we just decided, oh well, we'd rather let people make dragons out of it.
And they're going to take that technology now, and they're going to make actual effing damn transformers.
Oh, we use it. We use it for all kinds of stuff. Well, you haven't seen there's that one robot we have. It's a transformer. It transforms into 4 or 5 different things.
Really?
Yeah,
I got my own drone right here, man.
Cool.
Look at that. It's coming to get you. Looks like a Cylon, man.
I think it looks more like Kit, man.
Look at that. Isn't that amazing? So small. Can fly for 40
but I wouldn't hold that thing so close to my face. If I accidentally hit the button and turn the blades on,
can fly for 41 minutes.
Chop your damn eyebrows off, man. Be careful.
Got the camera.
Sean's got to go to work in one.
Got the camera right in front and all that, man.
On this show, he's known as Dexter, by the way. So
I bought it to chase squirrels away from my bird feeder because they drive me crazy.
How is living in the 51st state?
On your state flag, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just asking how living in the 51st state feels.
Amelia, woo!
Do you like your new governor up there? Who's it going to be? What's his dick face name? Oh yeah, we'll let you keep your flag.
You missed our food porn segment unless you were here for it.
So you'll have a big U.S. flag, and in the middle of the
you got the USA flag.
No. You'll have just the U.S. flag, and then the maple leaf will be in the middle of the flag. Yeah, that's fine.
No, I mean, but look at all the other state flags. They each represent New Mexico's got like a cactus on it.
They're going to be a Commonwealth anyway. They're not going to be a state. We're not going to let them be a state, but the Commonwealth of Kansas. Y'all are already a Commonwealth already, so you should be used to it. It just be
they should use pink shorts, right? As like their flag.
Think of it like this: the U.S. is getting rid of its income tax. The states are already doing it, but now the
states
are.
I believe it when I see it.
I'll bet you the blue states, most of the blue Democratic states, are going to be the slowest ones to comply with that.
Yes,
New York's not giving up.
Somebody's knocking for Mike. Come in, Mike. Let me in.
That's Bill the cat. He's in the window. He just scratched his head or something. So that's all that was.
See, they're knocking for Jay. Oh shit, man!
You want me to get the camera on him? He's in the window looking at the bugs outside.
I mean, we were just talking about being on the moon and something knocking on a spacecraft outside. That's what the astronauts were talking about.
The living piss out of me.
He was in the spacecraft and something was knocking on it outside. Yeah, I would have been like, we're leaving.
Hey, I wouldn't even look. Yeah, all right, cool. Time to go.
It's just one of those things. It's no, I mean, I was watching stuff about. I was watching your great news company, the CBC. These are the greatest Canadian news company ever to exist.
It's the only Canadian.
Wait. So you're not going to see it on this show, but next week we're doing a couple of the big meltdowns, at the end of the election. That's one of them. That CDC one is one of the meltdown. We'll be playing. It's Well, and it's different in the Americas than it is in.
It's more like Canada is America light.
Yeah, it's they're going to be sooner or later. They're going to be a Commonwealth. It's just a matter of time.
If they're not careful, I mean, did you see both of their presidents or both their guys who were running, or like the guys who were like vying for permanent prime ministership or whatever their presidency is? They were both like chastising us for the unfair tariffs.
Because they're assholes
for the same amount of time that we've not.
And
gotten
that's the same giving Trump a blowjob. I mean, that shit just doesn't go. But it's Trump's fault because there were going to be a conservative leader in Canada until Trump started with the tariffs. If he'd have waited a little bit and let him have the election, there would have been a conservative leader. Now, oh no, because Trump's being a what's that? He's being a dick. Yeah, okay. You happy I said that? Okay. Now that he's being a dick, then he's pushed this guy up. But it's going to be pretty good. I think their government will be a little bit tighter this time, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Trump's not going to ease up on this, so it doesn't matter. And like I like to remind people in the United States, if you're not buying foreign, you're not feeling the tariff. And since diesel is down here is almost down to $3 a gallon, that means food and everything else is right behind
it. In his first administration, he just didn't have enough time to get the speed going because COVID interrupted everything.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, guys, it's our prices are way down. I mean, our eggs are $2.99, ground meat's below $4.
Gas is kind of fluctuating up and down, but it eventually, in a year or two, it should start coming down.
Oh, it'll probably be faster than that. You'll probably see it by Christmas. You'll probably start seeing it come down a good bit.
Let's hope.
Well, I mean, if the diesel follows suit to what it's doing right now, everything else will come down. So, and as long as you're not planning on buying a new car or something that involves something from overseas like clothes, you just run around naked. That's feel for them Canadians because it's kind of cold up there, but for the rest of y'all, too bad. Because Trudeau is a shithead. I mean, Mr. Pink Shorts he's a shithead, and I don't like this new guy any better.
This is coming from a citizen. Oh, whoops.
I mean, this new guy ain't any better. I mean, he's like Trudeau light or something.
Where did it go? There it is.
And what's his name? The conservative. What's his name? Pikachu. Is that his name? The conservative guy, Pikachu. Is that his name? Anyway, he's an idiot too.
He's under investigation. Their prime minister. That's kind of scary.
And I'm thinking we should just eject Ontario into fucking space. And say, what? You want to do what? No, we're just going to inject your asses into space. Not even going to worry about y'all. What's that, Jackie? I love Canadians. My fucking station manager is a Canadian. The lady I'm talking to right now, Miss Amelia, is a Canadian. And they know I love them to death. So it ain't nothing against the people. It's the government. It's I got a lot of friends in Canada, but their government sucks worse than ours does. Or did. We had Biden. So, ours was the worst government on the planet. Now we got Trump. It's much better. Trump is basically giving everybody the bird finger. He's pretty much telling you if you don't like it, you know what, kiss this, kiss that. He told Putin, 2 days ago, fucking knock it off. His words, by the way. Whatever he did in Kiev pissed him off. And he said that, and Putin just stopped. And the Ukraine retaliated, and Putin still stopped. Now all of a sudden, Putin's like, well, let's make peace.
Yeah.
I think he realized he's done pushed Trump too much now. Trump's getting tired of him. We're just going to start dumping money and troops into the Ukraine, and Russia's going to be.
They were also, they put out a rumor. I don't know if this is on purpose or if it's a tactic, but they actually put out the rumor that they were going to, we're going to go so far, then at some point we're going to bail on the whole situation. And if that happens, they're on their own.
That's his name. I still call him Pikachu.
Yeah.
Like Polly want a cracker kind of guy.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't know how to
Polly
say
want a blowjob. Yeah, it's
I failed French in grade school, so when I came to high school, I chose Spanish.
Well, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. When I was looking at y'all's numbers today, there's not much difference. There's only 4. And wait, so we were on CBC,
kind of like Biden,
the greatest news station in Canada, and they only had the two parties 4 points apart. So that's pretty tight race there. And what is this?
Well, I mean,
so wait, there's a new
Canadian people want to be part of the U.S. I mean, that's the bigger question.
Well, a lot of Canadians would like to be part of the U.S. A lot of Canadians don't want to be part of the U.S.
What's What's the majority? What's the minority?
The polls didn't really change much. The whole like debacle that was this past administration's.
Oh, I agree with you on that, Amelia. We learned that ourselves. Unless you do polls like Jay and I did when we did this last election, we nailed everybody's ass to the ground because we did everybody's poll. We found out where they were coming from, who was doing them,
both sides,
and then we assessed it. And not one time did we undercut Trump. So everybody said,
"You got to do a poll
for
Canada then to see if they want to be part of the U.S."
Well,
I mean, is it ham? Is it ham or is it Canadian bacon? You tell me.
It's ham.
In my opinion, it's ham. It's not bacon.
Ham. I'm going to say it's ham.
It is ham.
The first time one of my Canadian friends said, "Oh, it's bacon," I said, "You don't fucking."
Doesn't suck. It's just not bacon. I mean, it's not. It's not like, burnt. It's not wrinkled and crispy. It's thick and it
doesn't go crunch when you bite
into it. Almost
into
cheeseburger or bologna like.
It's what's that, Christopher? Oh no. What do you mean? No, we're not hating on Canadians. No, don't be a doofus. No. A good friend of mine's in the room with us. You better watch it. I'll make her put some voodoo on your ass. Well, we don't know what it's called up there. All we know is it's called down here. It's called Canadian bacon down here.
That's why we call it ham instead. It's more.
Now I do notice when you get it in them little gift packages, it's called Canadian ham because it's a
but it's not gabagool. You know what I mean? you gotta have the gabagool. Go bring it up to Canada, man. A little bit of gabagool in Canada, then they're doing all right.
I don't know, man. I like hand-spun gnocchi. That's some good shit right there.
No. So, Rick, the reason why China's putting this little fleet out there is because we sent a nuclear submarine over there. Then we sent a bunch of B-1 bombers to Japan, and then we're flying nuclear missiles out of silos down here. We're making them nervous. This is what we're doing. And we're doing it on purpose. Trump's just flexing our muscle, saying we will fucking kick your ass. Don't think you're big and bad like you think you are. And it's not just for him, it's for the world. It's people say,
that's part of the whole Cold War of the 80s. If any of you guys remember, we the whole time when Russia wanted to flex its muscle, what did it do? It ran its army equipment down the middle of Red Square and broadcast it to the entire world every time. You remember that?
Yeah, we do something.
Just a way of saying, look out. This is what we got, and we're going to use it if you don't.
Now they don't have anything left because Ukraine blew it all up.
Yes, correct.
They've got nothing left.
Or it was so obsolete when they tried to turn it back on, it just fell to pieces in front of their eyes. Yeah,
the last parade they had really old stuff. Like museum pieces, like relics,
Yeah, it's all rust pieces of crap that are falling apart as they're going.
Well, now they're supposed to be getting all new equipment now since the war's been kicking their ass. They were supposed to get all new kind of stuff. So what's going to happen is so Russia's going to try to invade Canada.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Canada is pretty big. I mean, it's a big ass place.
They've only got two ways to go. They either have to go through Alaska, or they have to come up underneath the ice through the top of the country. That's the best way to do it, is to come up under the ice of the.
No. They could come around Greenland and come in through that side.
No, they can't. That quarter is way too well policed with electronics. Trust me, I know.
Well, no, I mean, it doesn't mean because that doesn't mean. But if it's a war, they ain't going to care about that. They're just coming in. You'll know they're coming.
The bigger question is,
they try to pass that gap, the geo gap, the Greenland ice and UK gap. They try to pass that with any equipment. Their ass is toast. If their stuff is already deployed underneath that ice, we don't know where the hell it is.
But they don't have any troops left.
Huh?
They're pretty much they're depleted, really. Man.
Oh, now they do have troops. They have North Korean troops, and they might even have Chinese.
You know how fast is they're going to get knocked off? A whole bunch of them just got knocked off.
I know, but we don't know when China might start supplying.
And we don't know that Putin didn't say to the Korean troops, you can defect to Russia once you're done fighting for us.
I don't think China is going to get involved in that at all.
Not yet.
They're too smart. Nah, too smart for that shit. It doesn't fit their overall plan. They probably
if it affects their economy, they might have no choice but to get involved.
Xi Jinping probably thinks that Putin is just out of his damn mind. You know what I mean? I'm sure that's what he thinks about the whole situation. But China's starting to negotiate with us with tariffs. They know where the money is, and they see a future for themselves. So, like Russia, I don't see a future for Russia. Do you? I mean, I think Putin pretty much sowed that fate.
Something's got to change. If Russia wants to survive, something's got to change. I do interviews over there all the time, and it's interesting. There's a couple of guys I talk with fairly regularly. And I mean, just recently I did something. It's funny because they always want to talk ufology with me, and then they want to talk politics with me. It's two separate interviews. And I don't have to be careful with what I say because I live in the United States, so I give them the big fucking raspberry. But they have to be careful what they release because they get in trouble. So the last one I did was with Task, which is one of the media outlets that belong to Russia. And he was asking me, what do I think? I said, what do you mean? What I think about the war? Or what I think what's going on? I said, look, I like Putin as a chest beating fucking crazy ass. I said, but if he keeps it up, sooner or later, he's going to drag Europe or the United States into it, and then it's going to be fucked. I said, because then nobody's going to give up until somebody wins, and Russia's just not in a position to win. And even if they use nukes, they're not in a position to win.
Nope.
I said, so I mean, I like the Russian people. I don't want to see anybody get killed, and I'm sure they don't want to see us get killed.
Yeah, but you exactly nailed the problem. That's the thing. Is right now he's the biggest, baddest bully on the block, and the problem with being the biggest, baddest bully on the block is eventually a bigger, badder bully comes down the block, and the only one that's bigger, badder is the U.S. And eventually
Trumpzilla.
See, but the problem with using nukes is you use let's say Putin wants to end the war, so he uses 2 1-kiloton nukes, use one on Kiev and one on Chernobyl. All right, he's pretty much ended the Ukraine. It's done. It's over with. Nothing's going to happen from there on. And now the whole Ukraine belongs to the Soviet, or I should say Russia.
Unless the country's government gets out of Kyiv before the explosion, they're done.
So I mean that's pretty much over with. So at this point, is Europe and the United States going to get involved? I mean,
I would
Ukraine
say
is
we
lost.
get back to a state of World War III.
Well, because if we get, I mean, at this point, the Ukraine is lost. We're not going to retake it, not without a major conflict with Russia. And then you have to think: is the United States and Europe's definitely not ready for a major conflict?
Yeah, Trudeau's definitely in bed with China, always, right? I mean, we
don't know what NATO's policy is on someone detonating nukes in a non-NATO nation.
And that's the other
especially
thing.
the one that's actually petitioned to join NATO. They've actually made a formal application.
To use nukes like that is a defining point. Russia would be completely shut out of the world, and then there would be a quick response, to them. I mean, it's not like Israel's got tactical nukes. They're not even supposed to have them. You know what I mean? But they have them.
The tactical nukes, theater-wide nukes. He uses a nuke. I think we would be at a de facto state of World War III at that point.
It's a defining point. You use a nuke. That's a defining point. The U.S. has been the only country that's used nukes on
and that's the problem. So how can we say something? Why do we use the nukes to end the war? We use 2 nukes to end the war. So if that's what he says he's doing, we're kind of screwed. We can only say so much.
But he's not fighting an enemy who's declared after the first nuke that they're not going to give until the last man dies breathing on Japanese soil. And even the second nuke didn't deter them from, defeating themselves in the war. It was when the Russians were about to leave the beachhead and invade Japan proper. That's when they surrendered. Those 2 nukes had nothing to do with them surrendering. It was all Russia's fault.
They'll probably debate you that in history, but I don't really.
No, that's exactly what happened. If Russia had not taken the beachhead a day or so after that second explosion, they would have kept on fighting until the Russians got to that beachhead. I guarantee you that.
Well, the Russians would have been dead then, because the U.S. was actually going to put 2 more nukes in Japan.
Well, we only had 3.
We only had 2 operational nukes. And then we had whatever it was called, the K5, which was a test nuke. And then they had the other one that they were putting together. So technically they had 4. They always want to say they had 2, but when you get down and you read everything, they actually had 4. The test one, they were nervous because they had no idea how big the explosion would be. And the other one was still going to take a month or 2 to finish to get it out there. But still, they could have deployed both of them. And Japan was done. Japan knew they were done. I don't know why they would even want to fight anymore.
That didn't deter the emperor from saying that he and all of his citizens would fight to the last man was breathing on soil.
His Air Force was done. His Navy was done.
Of course they were,
He lost his Navy at Midway.
Yes.
So it was just, I mean, don't get me wrong. That little fucking country put up a hell of a fight, man. They took on half the planet.
They were roaming most of the Pacific with their sea equipment for how many years? 5, 6 years.
But they made the mistake, and by bringing us into the war. If they would have left us out the war, they would have took a lot of territory and kept it.
Wasn't it Admiral Nagumo who said that? Right? You know, have we
don't wake the
sleeping giant or something to that effect?
Sleeping dragon, actually, is what I think he said.
Something to that effect, yeah. Or so the sleeping tiger, something.
Something
ominous.
I think if I had to go look at it, I think it was. I think I fear we woke the sleeping dragon, and of course he was right. He did.
Well, another one of the emperor's upper echelon admirals or generals also said attacking America would be, or going to America proper would be like fighting every blade of grass, because there'd be American behind one with a gun.
It's true. It's not going to be. It's not like
every blade of grass would have a gun behind it.
He said there'd be a gun behind every tree.
Yeah, or something.
It's not like in Europe or in other places of Russia where they're not going to have guns. Here, everybody's got a gun, and it's a bitch part is everybody here knows how to use a gun.
Not everybody, but there's a good amount of us who do.
It's I don't know. All the states that I have, you have to go to gun school before you can own a gun.
I know a lot of gun people, man.
Oh, that's not true. For pistols, not for rifles. I forgot.
Not for Georgia, unless you for hunting in Maryland and Georgia. If you're under 18, you have to go to hunting safety classes. But if you're over that, when you buy a gun, I bought my first gun when I was 23. I didn't have to take any safety classes, videos, no tests. All I had to do was fill out the paperwork for the background check, and boom, bang, out the door I went. Gun in hand.
That's pretty good. It's a lot of states
in hand and extra magazines, as a matter of fact.
A lot of the states now want you to take a gun safety course. See, I get to skip over because
Maryland has that, Virginia has that, North Carolina.
They say it's against your rights, man. New York is a 16-hour course. You have to score 90% or higher on the test, and it's over 300 for that thing.
Maryland is 80.
They're saying they're excluding poor people by doing that.
It's 70.
Yeah, they're keeping certain people from getting guns. That's why they do it.
Yep.
It's
on the street. You can buy a gun.
I was watching what Amelia just posted. Corey is such a dickhead. I mean, he really is Trudeau light, is what he is.
Yeah.
But he thinks he's got a working relationship with Trump. I'm thinking, well, we're going to see, buddy, if you do or if you don't, because I don't think Trump likes you to start off with because you're a liberal, and he thinks he's Castro's son.
Little baby Castro. That was.
Oh no, we're talking about the guy who replaced him.
Oh,
Barney. Yeah, he replaced. And that was some slick shit they pulled up there too. See that? It's just like the shit they did with Kamala Harris down here. They pulled that shit up in Canada. They just, I'm leaving, and there wasn't no election. He just drugged this other guy in and gave him the job.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
democracy in action.
Yeah, I was like, you got to be shitting me, man. None of the Canadians I know were happy about it, but I mean, that's just what they did. It was a sneaky little fucking thing they did.
Yeah, Amelia says he's a sneaky little bastard, Carney is.
Well, he is, and we're gonna have to watch him. But I don't think he, I got to give Pikachu, the other guy, credit on the fact that he did say, he said, look, we can fight with the United States all we want. We can play tit-tat for a little while. He said, but America's economy our economy is only 10% of what theirs is. He said, if they want to bankrupt us and do major harm to us, they can. He said, so really in the long run, this is not beneficial fight for us. It's not a fight.
To have either zero tariffs or equal tariffs that,
What happened to the fat crackhead that was in there, man? That guy Ford. Is he dead? Did he die?
I don't know. I know the other one I don't like is the one that wears a turban, whoever the hell he is. He looks like a crackhead or something. That son of a bitch. You'd have to ask Amelia who
we had Marion Barry, D.C. Mary.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I remember that.
Notorious crackhead. He got reelected as a crackhead.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, I mean, literally, he got arrested as he was mayor. He was the de facto mayor of the city. He got arrested in his underwear with his sock suspenders and his, loafers in his underwear, white underwear, with a hooker crack cocaine and powdered cocaine, and then went to jail, and then immediately got out of jail and was elected back immediately. I mean, there was just bam, it was that quick.
People liked him.
Apparently,
it happens sometimes. So this guy here, I was putting up, this guy got some little shitty friends, huh? Suave, Soros, Epstein, Andrew. I mean, this is the freak club. Oh no, Jackson, we only got we're gonna hang out for about another 10 minutes and then we gotta
What
go.
about P. Diddy, man? Is he in the
that crew?
And speaking of that, why have we not heard anything about him lately?
There's your turban guy.
Oh, is that him?
I would imagine.
Let me bend you over and smack your ass around.
Sikh Indians that wear the turbans.
He looks like a weirdo. Not because he wears a turban, he just looks like a weirdo. Turban or not, he's just a freaky looking thing. Well, I mean, I haven't heard anything about Diddy. Nothing even comes out about it.
Yeah, well, Diddy's lawyer, right?
There's a lot more corruption going on. That's
Diddy's having a hard time finding a lawyer.
Yeah.
Well, shit, then he might get to walk.
No, if he can't find someone to represent him, even with his money, they have no choice but to give him free representation from the state.
Well, that wouldn't be fair, though.
They have no choice.
I know, but that would be something you could get tossed out if you were a good lawyer. I don't know. We'll have to see what
nobody wants to represent the man because he's a piece of shit.
Yep. Let's see some evidence, people. I'm ready. I'm ready to see some evidence. Yes, I want to know more about this freako.
100 gallons of baby oil. That's not enough evidence, is it? You want video, you want audio, you want testimony.
And see, I mean, he posting that's how Epstein got killed. And that's probably what's going to happen to this guy sooner or later. They just can't do it.
I'm so shocked he didn't hop on his private plane with his money and just leave town. Then
That would have been our plan, yeah.
Go to some foreign country and buy it. He could buy a whole country, the dude.
He was told that he would be allowed to stay out of jail while he defended himself. That's why he did it.
Well, where is he now?
Obviously.
He's sitting there cooling his heels in jail.
Yeah, somebody gave some bad advice on that.
And I don't think he knew that there's the full scope of the charges against him. I mean, he knew someone, told him time to get out, but he didn't. I would have, I think, if I had his money.
If it was me, the second my lawyer calls and says they're charging you, I'd be on the plane and I'd be leaving, man. I'd be over the border already. Gone.
Later.
Where's Michael Langley? Fuck, I don't know.
Who cares? He's in a country that doesn't have extradition with this one.
But this dude's got yachts. He's got, $1 million yachts and all this. I mean, the amount of stuff. He's an unbelievably wealthy person.
Why would you do something as stupid as what he's been accused of if you had that much cash anyway?
I mean, he's incredibly wealthy.
Yeah.
I think that once they have everything, that what's left is to do whatever you do to people.
It's a shame.
But man, I don't know. I just kind of, when all these guys turn themselves in, I just think it's funny as shit.
But besides himself, how many other people's lives has he ruined?
Darryl Strawberry, remember they put him in jail for a few years because he was doing cocaine, and then he went to rehab and fell out. You know what? I'd be like, fuck you! I'm taking my money and leaving this stinking country.
Well, wait. Here's a little flash right quick. Since we were talking about
cocaine, he wasn't selling cocaine.
Okay, here's a little flash since we were talking about China earlier. China suspends its 120% tariff on U.S. central bank and injects cash into its own economy. Ooh, that's not good. They're caving, man. They're caving because it's not even affecting the U.S. economy. It's already crashing China's. They were saying they have to put all kind of money into all kind of businesses because so many of them rely on us in Europe to buy shit.
Trump's tariffs stimulated negotiations with all of these other countries. And then before we would still be paying, I mean, some of them had 200%, 300%, 400% tariffs on American goods. Now they're wiping them out completely, which is good for us, good for our companies, good for everything.
We're
good
paying
for
the bill for their security with our army, and then they're also charging us through the nose for the goods they buy from us for their countrymen. It's disgusting. What was happening to us?
Oh, the Ukraine said thank you for the F-16s. It's been helping greatly lately.
I'll bet.
Trump said that the mineral deal is around the corner with the Ukraine. If the Ukraine signs a mineral deal, we're going to have to protect our interests, man. So it's a win-win. I mean, and Zelensky knows that.
No, it's yen. He wants to use the Chinese yen.
Ooh, USA Today, 75% of Americans disapprove of Trump's handling of the economy. I have a hard time believing that one, but okay.
Yeah, it was a New York Times poll with a very liberal college that came up with that information. Kind of funny when you think about it, where the information is coming from.
China's new MD-19 hypersonic drone is a nightmare for U.S. air defense.
No, because Japan's got that railgun that can shoot it down. They can shoot all those supersonic missiles and whatever. Good, man.
UK scientists are about to attempt to dim the sun. Wait, what? What? No, yeah, better not.
Check this out, fellas. This isn't looking really good.
Russia turns up the heat under Trump, lays groundwork for next invasion or invasion before next invasion. Okay, sorry. What was that, Jay?
This isn't looking good, at least not for China. $1 US will get you 7.29 yuan or yen, whatever you call it in English.
Yuan.
Yeah.
Oh, Chinese money,
which is overvalued anyway.
Chinese dollar, not their offshore yuan, but their homeland money is it's $8 in American dollars. That's pretty cool, huh?
And somebody's hurting. That's all it is.
That's what I'm saying. It's not looking good for somebody. Who else do we want to check on? I got the converter up here.
Let's see. What do we got here? YouTube spy plane captured stunning image of Chinese surveillance balloon. Fucking balloons. We should consider an act of war and go blow up some base over there. Voters give Trump shock. New approval rating has him near first 100 days in power. I know. With the exception of the economy, everybody else is giving him a high rating. So I wouldn't believe anything if it was low.
Well, he's got a lot of work to do. So, and he seems like he's getting to it. He just needs to fix a couple of problems. That's all.
He's still sitting at 54%. So he's holding his own. That's overall. If you ask him about other things, it's pretty high.
And it's only April, almost May, but.
Good night, Amelia.
What's that, Jackie? You're talking about the
kid. Good night.
You're talking about the guy down there in Venezuela. What about him? What do you mean they made a mistake? Not from what I heard. They didn't.
The guy from Maryland who's in El Salvador in prison.
Yes, I mean, how did he make a mistake? No. So you're wrong. So the judge, the two judges, actually found him guilty of being in the country illegally and being in the MS-13 gang. The judge in 2019 said they weren't going to send him home because his life would be threatened. But see, now his life isn't threatened. He's just in prison. Yeah. So yeah, he's not being threatened there. And even he said himself that he wouldn't be scared to go back to Venezuela now because the crime was gone because they're all in prison. So both judges found him guilty. So you can't say he didn't have due process. He did have due process. Now that the window's opened up so that they can send him out the country, so that's what they're doing. Yeah, you're going to have a hard time with this. And Democrats getting behind this are going to lose because, by the way, these two judges that kicked him out were Obama judges. Yeah, that found him guilty as being a gang member. Yeah.
Well, but also the wording of the Constitution is sort of ambiguous, where it says no person shall be whatever without due process. It doesn't necessarily specify citizen, but that's what we have always been doing for the last however many centuries.
Well, it would have to include non-citizens. Because most people will believe that the Constitution is rooted in the faith of the American people.
Yeah, it does say persons, but it doesn't necessarily say persons not of the citizenship. But it is in that way ambiguous.
So that's pretty much a done deal. If they're not gonna be able to argue that, they might as well just leave it alone. Damn
Yeah,
it!
right now you're not getting back. I don't think anybody.
Well, no. Once the two judges said that he was an MS-13, they don't have to bring him back. They're just not going to. They're just going to say, "Oh well, too bad, so sad, my friend." They might get him out of jail and leave him down there. Maybe send his family down there, but they're not.
Well,
He's not coming back here.
I think he was wanted for crimes down there that he hadn't answered for. That's why he stayed up in here in America, because he can't be extradited.
Chinese military monitors U.S. Navy warship in Taiwan Strait. It's just cruising around, minding its own business. Don't bother it. It's not bothering you. Don't bother it because it's highly unlikely that it's by itself. More than likely, there's a submarine somewhere nearby. Federal court officially rejects Trump's DOJ a major blow.
What?
What? And for what? I mean,
Yeah,
she's
what?
got so many cases going on, it's hard to say what it is.
Yeah.
What? This is like, all right, we're not even reading this. This starts off with, when she was talking in 2016, I think this is a waste of time. The Kansas City Star. Yes, it's definitely a waste of time. The Ukraine and EU respond to Trump with their peace plan. Reuters reveals its content. And Trump said, "Oh, fuck you, fucking asshole, haha. You know, we don't fucking like your plan. We're going with my plan."
I feel like some stuff's going to happen this weekend, man. I just got a feeling in my gut. I don't know what.
So here we go again. China
Something
rethinks.
big.
China rethinks U.S. tariffs to ease economic strain. Look, dude, you knew you were gonna fuck up when you did. So what he was hoping is he could turn some of these other countries that are pretty much just all but kissing Trump's asshole to turn them on his side. And they were like, "No, we're not fucking making an enemy of the United States, especially this asshole." Right. Fuck you, dude. If it's some other asshole, we might think about it, but no, fuck this guy. Saudi told, because Saudi was part of that BRICS thing. Saudi told Russia and China, "You fuck off. We're not getting on Trump's bad side." He said, "Whatever Mr. Trump wants." You see how many deals we've been doing down there in the Saudi capital, and he's making sure Saudi knows. You don't
They
fuck
announced
around.
$1 trillion investment in the U.S. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of these countries are investing an extraordinary amount of money.
Yeah, $4 trillion so far. So figure it like this: $4 trillion invested, $4 trillion found. That's $8 trillion plus $4 trillion found that we can't recover. That's 12. I mean, plus they found from the Pentagon, it's like 13, 14. So I mean, the guy ain't been in office 100 days. He found $14 trillion. Give me a fucking break, man. He's gonna go down as best president in history at the rate he's going.
It's the art of the deal.
And the income, it looks like the economy is going to start tightening up. So, well, down here it already has. I mean, it's still got a ways to go, but it's definitely gotten way better than what it was.
Some of the big hubs are down there in the south. Fort Stewart in Georgia is one of them. Once they start ramping up and have lots of flights going out and less coming in, then something's up.
Use that flight tracker software too. It's pretty good stuff, man.
Good point.
Chinese foreign minister say U.S. tariffs show extreme egoism.
Egoism, yeah.
Egoism, which Xi Jinping has showed on many occasions.
Yeah, they're going to destroy us with their brand new baby aircraft carrier piece of shit thing.
We see you do egoism all the time. We're just, what happened is they had Obama for 8 years. Who really didn't give a fuck about the rest of the world except for the Middle East? He liked to blow the shit out of them for some reason. I don't know what that was about. He was just having a bomb blowing in the Middle East. So that's what he did until he finally ended the war in Iraq and just started blowing more shit up in Afghanistan. That's like fuck. And so they got used to him giving what he wants, and then Trump came along, and Trump was really twisting, and then of course COVID hit and just stopped all of that midstream. And then we got a break and then we got Dick Face. Who's Dick Face? Bud?
Oh yeah.
Stop yawning, man. It's not even like goddamn. What was it? 12. It's 12:28 there.
Yeah, 12:30. I'm sorry, man. I'm tired. My dogs woke me up
Central
early.
Land. Jay and I, we've been up since 2:00 in the morning.
Well, 5. I got up about 9 minutes before my alarm at 5:51. So
I was up at 4:40, man. 4:40.
Oh no! So it was one of the first times I got almost an entire 7 hours of sleep, and I said, "Hey," I looked over and I was like, "Oh my god, 9 minutes!" I was like, "Why couldn't it be like 2 hours? I can go pee and then go back to sleep for 2 hours." No, I had 9 minutes. 9 minutes to pee, and then I had to get in the shower and get ready for work.
So more and more people are talking about all these new things where they think they found life on different planets now.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. They think there's aliens. They think there's aliens afoot. What can I say? No, we got 3 minutes, which I got.
Planet with fluorocarbons, like a machine, fluorocarbons, like all kinds of neat stuff out there in the universe.
Well, no. So this recent one, they think there's a warm ocean on this planet. I think it's a couple of times the size of Earth, and they think that ocean has life, and it's emitting things into the atmosphere. They suggest it's life. I forgot how far it's out. 8 light years or 80 light years. It's a ways out there.
Achievable for our friends from afar, but not from us.
Well, So, see, I've been talking about going to Proxima for 3 decades now. Finally, science is catching up and said, "Oh, well, we might be able to go to Proxima." I mean, is there anything there we want to see? I don't know, but actually, Jesse, they're getting ready to put up more of these space telescopes that can help find life. Yeah, we're going to find
one is supposed to have like all the instruments that NASA's been wanting. So I mean, like infrared, all these kinds of different spectrums they can filter through the telescope. As long as they don't send it up with like an out of focus mirror like they did with the other two and mess them, already messed up before they get out there. And that's their record so far.
Oh, look, it's a bloody drone landing on a bloody historic Royal Navy ship. All right.
Nice.
So everybody's getting their drones together. If they wait another 30 years to go to war, they'll be just mechanized everything. There'll be transformers out there.
Well, I wonder right now how many of our friends and allies and enemies are right now are deploying all of their top secret stuff and trying to test it out secretly and make sure it's running just in case the big 3W opens up.
Judge blocked off the rails Trump with the order that won't be easy to reverse. Legal expert. What? See, y'all put this shit up there and you don't. What is this? Well, that's cool looking, whatever that is. Sorry, I was reading about the Trump story and I seen these reefs made out of ships.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of cool. It's well, he's got all kind of stuff they're fighting, guys. I mean, he's winning, he's losing, he's losing, he's winning. I mean, he's got so many executive orders that they're fighting. It's not even funny.
Yeah, they both sides have their hands full for the next at least year and a half.
So who's Vance going to visit next? Wow.
Well, the next person who dies, we'll find out, won't we?
So here's one for you, Jay. Archaeologists discover a 7,000-year-old road built at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea.
Nice. Roman?
It just says, it doesn't say what it is. It just says that's where they found it. At the bottom of the sea. This goes, now, it's funny about the Mediterranean. What is it? The Pillars of Hercules. There used to not be water there. There used to be all land.
Rock of Gibraltar, yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually the land moved and
when
spread.
Atlantis sunk, the Mediterranean filled is the myth.
Yeah, it just the little piece opened up and all the water. They know right where it came in at. It's not even that big of an area.
Well, the same thing can be said of the Black Sea over by Ukraine. It's the same incident. It filled up that area.
Oh, look at the pretty kitty. Okay. Mysterious pyramid discovered in the ocean still baffles science.
Well, no shit. Science already is baffled.
See, they put these up and they put these stupid videos in them, and all they do is put writing on what they think it may or may not be.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
all
people,
clickbait.
look, use audio, use voice if you're going to do that. You know, put some music in there and talk. Don't. That shit looks stupid. Every time I see one now, I block it. There's a lot of deals being cut. I just read another one where more tariffs are being held back by China now because it's doing so much damage to their economy. Well, Xi Jinping don't want to lose his job, and if the economy crashes, guess what? He's going to probably lose his job. What? It's not exactly a job for life. Usually, when someone gets in that high up, it's hard to get them out, but. Let's see, what is it? The Thai's already cutting deals with Trump, getting out of there. A bunch of smaller countries are doing it way fast. They're not even playing around. Private cargo ship captured by space station robotic arm. Okay, we don't know what that is. Yeah, it doesn't tell you what it is. It just says,
that didn't make any sense.
private cargo ship captured by space station's robotic arm. That's all it says.
So
the experiments that proved Einstein.
I mean, that's fantastic. I guess.
Yeah, I guess the experiment that proved Einstein was wrong.
About
we're going to leave that for another show because we got to go. But
okay.
Easy to win. Trump predicts Supreme Court rulings. Good for Trump. Trump's appointed head of National Science Foundation resigns. I have done all I can. Deposits found on Mars suggest it was once home to alien life forms. Oh, you're going to fucking finally admit it? You're going to finally admit that there's fossils on the planet, you asswipes? They've been trying to hide that shit for 2 decades.
Too late. Yeah, it's already out.
Trump says she called him China trade talk active report. Oh, he said, I give you blocked up many times. You just take tariffs off. And he's like, no. He said, no, yeah, you take it from behind and we take tariffs off. Oh, I don't know. Starlink debate, saving the internet or disrupting the night sky. Well, who knows? North Korean missile hits Kiev. U.S. Components found. Look at that shit, huh?
What?
Look at that shit.
How's it? Well, I guess they're close enough, maybe.
They're using our components to create North Korean missiles. That's fucked up. I don't know, guys. But anyway, we got to get out of here. It's past my bedtime. I need my snack. Mike is already sleeping.
Yeah.
He said something about
I'm
a
about
raccoon.
to bail out. You guys are crazy, man.
Yeah.
We're
going. We're out of here. We got to go. So thank everyone for tuning in to News on the Flip Side of United Public Radio. Across, as I say, every week, any moans, groans, bitches, gripes, or complaints, Feel free to write to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy of Michelle DeRoche. At Mel DeRoche, where she's at, somethingcontacts.com or some shit. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, we got to go. Thank everyone again for tuning in to News on the Flip Side, United Public Radio. Come see Mike and I and Jay tomorrow night on chat, and then Mike will be after that. I'll be before that on Arthur's Quill. Busy day for us. We got a new show. We got new. Oh wait, I forgot. We got 2 new shows starting. So next week we got a new show starting before Writers of the Future, and I don't know when. We got a new Navajo guy coming on who's going to be interviewing people from the Navajo Nation.
Cool.
So he's going to have his own show on the network. So that's 2 new shows. One for Saturday, one for Sunday. Be sure to check them both out. On that note, good night and have some fun. Stay out of trouble.
Good night, everybody.